Welcome to the stream. I'm only 6 minutes late today. That's pretty much almost on time. I don't have my drink either. I shot the gun early because I was like, I'm ready. I'm not ready. I will have to grab it. But I'll let the first Heather stories play here. But hello, Megan, the love of my life. How you doing, babe? Beth, how are you? Amber, Marie, Alyssa. We got Miss Nappy Kid. Weta Loca, Miss Nappy Kid. Who else we got here? We got Lily Richard. We got Fierce, Kimmy and A. Karen's first cousin, and Rhonda, as well as Kara and Mudpit. How you doing, Mudpit? Also, she's saying hi to Ryan, so I'm assuming Ryan Summer. Hello, Ryan. And screenshot this. How are you doing today? So yeah, Heather's had a crazy week. Heather, as of right now, and I think I'm missing one or two streams. I don't know if she did any lives today. If she did, I'm missing those. And I think I'm missing one live from yesterday. But everything else I have is like almost 5 hours. It's 4 hours and 50 minutes. So we're not going to be able to get through it all today. We'll get as far as we can get. And from the little things that I have seen, it's pretty wacky. It's pretty out there. I've been a little preoccupied with Daisy because Daisy's in jail. Daisy's in jail because John gave her a gun for some reason to hold on to, even though it was in a case that he couldn't open and it wasn't loaded. So why even bring it with him? I don't know. Who knows? We're gonna get into that tomorrow. I will do a Daisy stream tomorrow as well as a Heather stream. It'll be a pretty crazy day. It'll be a crazy Saturday. Because most people have Saturday off, I think. Yeah, I'll give you both audiences something to work with. So without further ado, here's Heather from this week. I think like the highlights, I don't even know the highlights. I'm sure they'll come to me as we watch. I know she's been heavy on the TikTok. She's been yelling at Xavier to moderate because they need 5 jet planes, whatever the fuck that means. I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out as we go today. What else? What were some other highlights that I was like, really, Heather? Oh, the battering ram. She's going on about battering ram. And one of them, the batter ram by door down. So that's in the bingo card today. And yeah, I don't know. We'll find out as we go. So I do have, I think, everything in chronological order. So it should be good. Let's see. Oh, there's no audio. Yes, there is. I'm a liar. There we go.
God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her just at the break of dawn. The nations raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, and the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge.
Oh, what is this? Hold on. This is the 4 Ps: product, price, promotion, and place. The price is profit, deliver 196 improvement. I don't know what the fuck that means. A 1% improvement. Fixed costs, blah, blah, blah. Then we got the 5 Cs. I thought that said conspiracy for a second. That says company, customers, competitors, collaborators, and climate. Then we got gibberish. I can't read that. Hold on. What does that say? Terms, variable cost, fixed cost, competitive pricing, product value, consumer price response, consumer price acceptance. I mean, this would be great if Heather had anything to sell or anything to market. Why is she just writing all this down? The 7 M's. Why are there like the 4 P's, the 5 C's, and the 7 M's? Okay. Market. Does it say market? I don't know. We're gonna market, message, mission, message again, message design, media, money, and measurement. Was it worth it? I think we're just coming up with words that loosely fit what we're talking about to just like what's an M word that those were measurement. We'll go with measurement. That's a weird thing. I don't know if this is actually legit or she's just like fucking filling shit out. Drawing down her crazy thoughts. She peels off her face here. That's cool. It's a face mask, as the kids call it. I'm not familiar because I'm a man. I don't have face masks. It's happy 4th of July, everybody. Yeah, it's the 5th today.
And then I took a breast milk bubble bath.
So I've seen people be like, she bathes in her breast milk, and I was like, are they trolling? Is she taking something out of context? No, she just literally bathes in her breast milk. There was like a screenshot from, there's a note on the fridge being like, Xavier, this milk isn't for Weston. This milk is for my baths. And I was like, what the fuck? It's crazy. I don't know why she's bathing in her breast milk. That's kind of crazy.
I've explained this a bunch of times, but basically we have a small refrigerator where we keep the breast milk that I pump.
Oh yeah, Xavier was shouting out. Did he shout out Def Leppard? He shouted out Chris Farley. Chris Farley is dead. I don't think Chris Farley is gonna appreciate that shout out. Like, I mean, he can't. He's dead, right? But he was a comedian that died from speedballing. Like, I don't. That's who Xavier shouted out today or yesterday. One of these days recently.
And the Friday breast milk and the Saturday breast milk cannot be used on Wednesday or after unless it's frozen. Breast milk only lasts for 4 days in the refrigerator, and then it has to be frozen. So the Friday, Saturday breast milk would be 5 days still. And we don't have a large freezer. So with that breast milk, I started bathing in it. If you think about used on Wednesday or after unless it's frozen. Breast milk only lasts for...
And I was muted. I didn't hear what they said, so I got to put it back.
I've explained this a bunch of times, but basically we have a small refrigerator where we keep the breast milk that I pump. And the Friday breast milk and the Saturday breast milk cannot be used on Wednesday or after unless it's frozen. Breast milk only lasts for 4 days in the refrigerator, and then it has to be frozen. So the Friday, Saturday breast milk would be 5 days still. And we don't have a large freezer. So with that breast milk, I started bathing in it. If you think about all of the positive benefits it has for the baby, I started putting it in hot water and bathing in it because your pores like soak it in, and all of the health benefits that baby gets from it, plus like soft skin and, sensitive skin. It's been...
What does she mean? All the benefits the baby gets from it? The baby is eating it. That's what the baby is supposed to ingest. Of course, the baby's gonna benefit. It's your own breast milk. What do you mean? She thinks she's gonna get softer skin and stuff? I found the screenshot too. I'm gonna pull it up after she's done this like weird rant thing.
It's been working for me.
Okay, well, I guess she's done the weird rant here. This is so it's hard to make out, but it says here, let me make sure you guys can't see that. There we go. And I'll zoom in a bit as well here. Xavier, this is hard to make out. Xavier, breast milk from June 21st to June 22nd can't be dropped, booped, bopped. I don't know what this word is for Weston, because it has to be frozen after 4 days. Do not drink it. And then in parenthesis, it's for my weekly milk bath. And then I don't know, her signature, I guess, something. Maybe it's a picture. Maybe they're playing Hangman. Who knows? Who knows with these two? Where is? There we go. Let me switch this back here.
Side of the family would go there. My mom's side of the family would go there, and we would exchange gifts. So from the time I was a little girl, all the way until 2020, this would take place. I respected and cared for my clothing, my bags, my items.
So this is, I think, the first live stream from this week. Did we do a stream on Saturday? It might be like, if we did a stream on Saturday, it's like whatever one we picked up from last. But this, I think I got from Xavier's Chocolate. So if not Xavier's Chocolate, someone else, I'm sorry if I get it wrong. I think it was Xavier's Chocolates. So shout out to them. You should just sub to anyone who's in the description. They're all pretty cool cats.
My belongings. I respected and cared for them. They were not stolen. They were not, purchased with like any sort of, unrighteous or like, what's that word I'm looking for? Unethical means. Like I wasn't like out on the black market, like buying, whatever. Not saying that there's anything wrong or right about that. Like, I'm not having an opinion on that. I'm simply saying, like, these are items that I cherished. I felt so grateful to have them. I was not one of these girls that was like, oh my.
She talking about all this stuff from the tent, or is she talking about like the stuff that she lost when she got sent away? I don't know what she's talking about exactly, because it was a live stream, so we don't have like exactly from the beginning. TikTok notifications are terrible. I have a phone set up specifically for Heather's TikTok notifications, and it never alerts me. Like, and not even if I missed it. It's not like YouTube is kind of crap too. Like YouTube, it won't like ring. But if I look at my phone, it'll show like this person uploaded or whatever. TikTok doesn't even do that. So I don't know where or how people even like catch these. So I'm really grateful for that. She's using the Frida filter, the weird eyebrow filter. The one that I don't like. I guess the Muse Energy filter. She's done with it, because I've seen a couple of videos like this now.
Oh my God, you got me the white bag instead of the black bag. I don't want it. Like, never that. Never. I was always like, oh my God.
Jill, we're gonna do a Daisy stream tomorrow. It's crazy. Things are crazy. I have some fancy things to tell the Daisy people, but we gotta wait. We gotta wait it out a little bit, just a little bit.
Thank you so much. Like, there would come points in my life when I would feel so unsupported based on what I was used to, and I would feel so unsupported. I would literally just say to myself, like, let's just go to whoever's house so that we can like get the outfit that they're gonna buy us, and like,
let's go to whoever's house. You mean like let's go do escorting, or I don't know. Let's go. Let's do some tricking so we get the outfit we want. Lexi, thank you for the $5 super sticker. I don't know. That doesn't sound. I thought she was gonna be like run away to like my friend's house or something. No, what, to get the outfit that we want.
Like, be nice and try not to say you're not giving me the support that I need, because in retrospect, it's like, what support I need is not always the support that they are going to give or can give, you know? So it's like, I'm always like, well, what the hell? I want a sister and a mother who are going to answer every single one of my phone calls on the first ring and text me right back and have sleepovers with me and, you know, hang out with me on the weekends every single weekend and check in with me daily to know what I'm doing. I didn't have that. I didn't have those relationships. I have those relationships with my kids because I did not have them. But I did have the type of relationship that was like,
these kids probably get driven crazy. I remember when she would call them like on live stream from the tent and be like, what's going on in life? What's going on here? What's going on there? The prom ticket scandal shenanigans, right? Or the kid was like, I don't even want like my mom's sponsors giving me money for the prom tickets. Like, I'm not even going. Like, just tell her to stop. I don't know. I don't think the kids appreciate it.
It's a birthday. My mom, my sister, and I were all going to meet up. My aunts, you know, it's a St. Patrick's Day. My mom, my sister, and my kids and me were all going to go to the St. Patty's Day parade. And I would like complain about this, like, not because I felt like I was, I don't know, I felt like I was getting cheated, like, out of those relationships. I felt like I needed more from my family. So life goes ahead and like says, oh, you're not satisfied with Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, St. Patty's Day, and birthdays with your family? Well, okay, well.
I mean, that is way more time than I spend with my family. How much time do you guys spend with your family other than like on the holidays? Unless like in case you live with them. I guess I'll run a poll. I think the poll is, will I be late? I was technically late. Let's see how much. Oh, 68% thought I would not be on time. I let down 33% of you, but I mean, like, you should really know by now. Curtis D, thank you for the $2 super sticker. Our $2 super chat. I want 5 private jets, 5 private jet, etc. Yeah, I don't know what a 5 private jets are on TikTok. I'm assuming they're like gifts, like how like YouTube has super chats with like, or the stickers like with the black dogs. We need 5 private jets to get, I don't know. What's the goal today? What are we trying to pay off today? The phone bill? Are we trying to get another breast pump? Is there another prom we need to send the kids to? Like, what is it today? What is it today? Yeah, someone get Xavier 5 Lana Del Rey stat.
I'm going to give you 4.5 years just alone to think it out. Like, wait, what? Hold on. Huh? I'm confused.
Each jet is $79. Are you kidding me? That's like the cost of a video game these days. Who is buying fucking 5 private jets for Heather Gillespie? Heather Gillespie.
I was complaining because I miss them. I was complaining because I feel alone. I was complaining because I want my children to have relationships with my family members. Not because I was getting too much love and attention and affection. So that's the first like aspect of everything that when I talk about like they're really at it again, like with the torment.
They are back. They are at it again.
And I call them crazy making behaviors. Like they're
I watched this with Megan. Crazy making behavior. So now it's it's our fault she's crazy, right? Or their fault, not us, but like it's their fault that she's crazy. The crazy making behaviors. Or maybe Xavier's gone crazy and they're doing crazy making behaviors to him. Who knows?
They're now taking up issues that I would speak with my ex on a recorded line, the one I did the reality show with.
Here we go.
And they're taking up issues and like making fun of me with them, or like trying to make me scared, like trying to make me run away. Where the fuck am I gonna run to? Like, what the fuck? No, I'm not. I'm not. Never will I ever, ever. I've never have and I never once will ever. Like, there is nowhere. Running is the dumbest shit ever. Like, to me, it's like, listen, either we can handle this right away or I could just cry by myself in my room. If I don't have a room wherever I am, I could just be crying. Like, I cannot handle running. Like, running is like terrible. It's like, let's run because anytime we stop, the problem will still be there. And
I mean, I'll give Heather that. She does not run. Except from the police that one time. She didn't believe it was the real police. But she wanted all the smoke. She did the confrontations. She also won't get the fuck out of Chicago. She's like, everyone tells me to leave Chicago. Chicago's the problem. She's like, how can Chicago be the problem? It's like, maybe it is. Maybe like for a homeless person, Chicago, especially with the weather, isn't the most ideal place to be. Living in Lincoln Park next to the zoo and stuff. Very strange choice. But her kids are there, and that's why she's gonna be there. Curtis, thank you for the 5. Tik Tok grifting Heather wanted 5 of them, kept repeating herself over and over again, begging for them. I seen a clip where she was like yelling at Xavier to moderate because she needs the 5. I guess people won't donate the jets if like people are in chat being like, Google Heather Gillespie, she's evil, she's crazy. Or I don't know. I thought Xavier was donating fake jets, but there's no way they're dropping $79 a pop for some like TikTok clout. There's no way. That is a crazy amount of money.
And so running will do woohoo.
To me, at least. I would not be dropping private jets for Heather Gillespie.
Thank you for this, Rose. Kelsey.
Okay.
That must be protection. Thank you.
It does go like black like that for a while. When it hits it, we gotta jump forward.
I don't know, you guys. It's so fucking weird. They're back at it again with the crazy making activities, and they're back at it again with like coming up with subject matter that I only discussed with that one person. Yay, thank you for the hearts.
I swear, anything she discussed with that one person, she's definitely like let us know about on live streams and stuff. But I think she's just too fried. She fried her brain out. I was gonna say poor girl, but like she had how many? We were like, she's had a quarter of a year. I think a third of a year now, almost. If we're gone another month in, she's had so long to get her shit together. Distraction free. She doesn't need like to raise the kids. She doesn't have the pressure of that or anything. She could really have made herself the best mom she could have been and got off drugs and got Xavier to be a normal person, not shave his eyebrows. A little birdie told me that Xavier is planning on pretending to be a trans person to go to the new shelter with her because then like he'd be a chick too. I don't think that's gonna work. But now like the shaved eyebrows and the crazy hair, it all kind of makes sense now. If that is the case. Heather, I don't know what we're gonna expect. Do you guys think she'll go to the olive branch, or do you think she'll go back to the tent?
And they're like using it, weaponizing it, like my secrets, What the hell? This was my significant other. No one in the world knew the things that I told this person. And not only that, but it's like there was a lot going on in those phone calls where I was literally like begging for help. I'm like, you guys gotta help me. Like, I know the law is monitoring this line. Please help me, blah, blah, blah. Straight up would say it like that. Like literally, I know the law is monitoring my line. Please help me. And I would get nowhere. And I would go directly and file direct police reports. Direct, right there in the station. Like, boop, here I am. Heather Gillespie, here's my ID.
Chrissy, thank you for the 10. Happy Friday. Thanks, Steve. I love the chat. I love the chat too. Chat's great. We never have to do anything crazy ever. You guys are chill.
And still, I would not receive any assistance. And now we're here, like, and I'm thinking about all the shit that they stole from me. And I'm like, okay, is it influencer groups? Like, okay, because here's something that you guys don't know. And if you know me, then a lot of this conversation is good in context. Like, you understand. If you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you know, right? Some of these influencer groups, like, have, like, sugar daddies that fund their content. Or maybe, I don't even know if sugar daddy is the right word, like sponsors. They have sponsors. And
are they talking about, like, is she talking about us? Like content creators that make content on Heather? We have sugar daddies? No, they're sponsors. Is that like a slip up? Are her sponsors sugar daddies? Is that what she's getting at?
I have my sponsors. And I've always had my own sponsors. But then there's like people who, rather than going out and getting their own sponsors, they're like low-key stalking me so that they can reap the benefits of the sponsorship opportunities that I've received.
I think this is actually what? I don't even know. This is from earlier this week. I don't think it might have been yesterday's. No, I think it was like a few days ago. Literally. I'm trying to go in chronological order for us because I don't know. It's crazy that Heather is starting to make. Heather was dry for a really long time. She was giving me like 20 minutes, 30 minutes of content a week. I was really having to like figure out how to stretch the streams out. But now it's like 5 hours of content. It's crazy. Like we're having to split it into 2 streams. So yeah, I think this is from a couple of days ago.
Literally. And I feel like I've done so much to give back. I have straight up sacrificed for so many different things. Like I've taught marketing for free online. I've taught drop shipping for free online. I've taught content and social media management for free online. I've put people on game to people like Gary V, who do like all of those lessons and like shared YouTube content of like.
She loves Gary V. Gary V wrote a kid's book and she's like, I'm going to read the Gary V kids book with my kids. It'll be great. What do you guys think? What would the Gary V's kid book even be about? You better go out and make the best lemonade stand in the world. You better wake up an hour early and go out and get all those lemons before anyone else. And like, that's the kind of shit Gary V says. Like, what kind of kid's book is that?
Very, very, very easy ways to like start a drop shipping store and like who to use third party and how to do direct to consumer sales. And like, just, I've been super duper supportive, you know, and I never once felt like, oh, if I know how to do this, I shouldn't tell anyone because then they'll know how to do it. I've never felt like that in my life. I'm always like, damn, this is a good idea. I should share it with everyone.
Who do you think she's teaching these online courses? Probably Xavier, right? She tells Xavier to leave the room when she's doing like her tests, and then like he comes back in the room. She's like, "Okay, now that you're gone, now that you're back, I can tell you everything you need to know about AI." And it's just basically like the Wikipedia condensed version of what AI is. He's like, "Wow, we're learning."
You know, like everyone should do this idea. Like this is fantastic. Like that's always how I am. That's how I've always been. My whole entire life, that's how I've been, forever and always. The only shisty things, like the only really shyster things I've ever done in my life have literally been like when I was like in a very fucked up situation of trauma. Like either I was being physically abused, sexually abused, or financially manipulated. And like, it was a matter of like life and death, like literally. That's the only time I've done shyster things. Actually, there was one shyster.
What would we be defining shyster thing as? Like pimping out other women and stuff? Like trafficking them, that kind of shyster stuff? What? I think she does do one example. I can't remember what it was. I think she's about to say it.
thing I did that was not a matter of like life and death, but it was pretty serious. I needed to like furnish my house, and
she stole money from one of her friends, which is, yeah, that's, I guess, some shyster shit to do, but I think she's done worse than this.
One of my girlfriends borrowed me money, and I told her that it was for one thing, but it was really for something else. And
shyster.
When she called me for the money back, I just stopped answering. I was like 18. I'm 37 now, so I was young and dumb and not so.
And Heather's just so innocent. I'm gonna grab a drink, guys. Basically, she's like, I never paid her back. That's the moral of the story. That's the ending of the story. I don't know if there's any morals here.
Selfish, but just egocentric, I guess, at that time. Worried more about my children and my comfort than paying her back, you know? And I do regret it, you know, and I've done my best to apologize to everyone who I've ever, like, you know, has been involved in helping me in any way. I apologize to all of them, because no one should feel like my problems are their problems. But at the same time, it's like my problems are your problems and your problems are my problem if we coexist. So there's like a certain amount of responsibility and accountability that everyone has to take in order to move to the next steps. And I think Gary Vee hit it right on the head when he was like, oh, AI is going to take over for influencer market. Like, who wants to work with an influencer who could just go out and get effed up, drunk, high, whatever, and make a humiliation of themselves, especially if they're working brand deals. Like, no one wants that, you know? They were ruining people's lives over that. They were putting these influencers in invisible fences and like literally manipulating their circumstances so that they could not live, so that they were like the asset, you know? It was wild. But back to 2020, I started dabbling in, so I was always doing like content sales.
Content sales. She was a cam girl. She was a cam content sales. Sounds better though.
I was always doing content sales, and I was doing like adult platforms. Nothing.
The OG Angela. How you doing, Angela?
Nothing with another like co-star, just all solo content. And I didn't want to do it. Like, I hated doing it. I liked creating content. I liked getting dolled up and writing scripts and like staging the space and all of that. I loved that. But I hated like the content, the actual context of the content. I hated it. I don't like being objectified.
She was the one who decided what the content was going to be, though. So, like, you hated your own content that you decided. Coco, pumpkin booty or whatever. You know what I mean? That was her idea. Those were her ideas. This is like someone was like in her ear with a gun to her head, being like, "You better do this way, or else." Crazy.
Always been the woman that's like, "Why would you do that to yourself? What is wrong with you?" Like, I've judged women who have been in like the dancing, stripping, etc., and so forth. And then there I was, you know, finding myself like working in those environments and just feeling
and bragging about it on that crazy podcast. Remember that?
Like real shit about myself, you know? And so I tried to like write it off as like, well, that must be it. You know, it must be that I was doing that. But how many girls are there realistically who have worked in that capacity, who are living good, you know, and who are not getting all stalked around? Listen to this bogus ass shit, you guys. Listen to this. Is a real true story. I swear to God on everything I love.
I'm already skeptical of it because you positioned it like that. But okay, let's see what the story is.
I went for a biopsy. They thought I had cancer. Okay, a biopsy. My significant other at that time, the one I waited for and was on the reality show with, he was supposed to drive me from the hospital after having the biopsy. He no-showed. He didn't show up. I literally like passed out on the ground. The doctor left the room, just left me there. I was just like pantsless in like a gown. I woke up like just sort of discombobulated. I felt so sick and nauseous to my stomach. I felt like,
what the fuck is a biopsy? We're gonna have to get out the learning machine here.
Like death. And my car was in the parking lot and it was locked. And I have the only key. It's a Cadillac CTS. I have the only key. And I come out of the hospital. Well, first
it's just like a procedure to remove a piece of tissue or a sample of cells from your body so it can be tested in a laboratory. I mean, it's not like the nicest thing, but why would you pass out because of that?
Call from the lobby. I'm like, oh my God, I hate you. Why didn't you come? I'm so sick. I'm bleeding. I'm throwing up. Like, I feel so sick. And he's like, just take a deep breath, be calm. I'm like, okay. And I finally make it to my car. And while I'm in the biopsy appointment, someone broke into my car and stole my entire makeup bag. And I'm not talking about Elf and NYX. I'm talking about expensive makeup, all MAC.
I thought the traumatic event was gonna be like you didn't know what happened while you were passed out at the hospital, and then why would the doctor just leave you like passed out on the floor in just a gown? You know what I mean? But no, the trauma was her makeup was stolen out of her car. So literally, like anything could have, like everything could have went perfect, and the makeup would have still been stolen out of the car. I don't even know why she threw that other bit in there if she wasn't gonna like lean into it. It's just me though.
All Smashbox, all Too Faced, all, what else did I have? Morphe, Too Faced, MAC. I'm trying to think what I was using at that time. All makeup from Ulta. My cheapest palette was like a $38 Morphe palette. I'm talking about my whole makeup case, you guys. They stole from my vehicle while I was having a biopsy. Do you understand?
Yeah, because I'm sure criminals, when they're gonna go steal from a car, they're like, "Well, I wonder what this person's up to." They're having a biopsy. Okay, don't steal from this one. I don't. They obviously didn't. If this happened, they didn't know what the fuck you were doing when you were away from the car. Well, I was having a biopsy. Could you imagine the nerve of these criminals?
Understand me? And that was in 2020 or 2019, the end of 2019, October 2019. 2 weeks later, my uncle dies. My uncle, my father's brother,
And this is all connected somehow, guys.
dies. 2 weeks after that, my aunt has.
What is this music in the background? Is it Xavier playing? I don't think Xavier's lost his piano. I think the piano is gone. So I think this is just like elevator music on probably, I don't know, free public radio. Is my guess?
Heart attack. 2 weeks prior to my makeup getting stolen, they flooded my apartment and put an $800 boot on my car that I had to pay to.
They flooded the apartment. How did the apartment get flooded? I can almost guarantee, without even knowing the context, it was her fault. Like, it was her fault. Who else was in the apartment? It was her, right? Even if, let's say it was one of her kids or something, she's responsible for it. Well, I guess Dylan was responsible for it because it was Dylan's apartment, but he was in jail. He couldn't have flooded it.
Pay to get off. Paid to get it off, whatever.
Yeah.
It was supposed to go against the money I owed for tickets. They gave me a huge, difficult time saying that I never paid $800 for a boot to get off my car. I'm like, yeah, I did, with witnesses and a receipt. This is Chicago, okay? So I have no idea if it's Chicago doing this, if someone is literally like, because you can't, how do you like blame a city? Like, it's the city of Chicago, it's out to get me. Like, you can't do that. It has to be someone who either is incentivizing employees from the city of Chicago, someone who I'm getting in their way.
Well, it's not, it'd be the people in the city, right? Like, it's not the city of Chicago. But if what you're describing is true, Heather, then yeah, the system is corrupt. Everything she's saying is nonsense. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, it is true. Then yes, the city of Chicago would be against you, and you should just get out of there. If you think the police force is against you, if you have police throwing you to the ground while you're pregnant, if you have all these shady individuals in Lincoln Park breaking into your tent and stuff, get the fuck out of Chicago. That was like one of the first things I said when I found this thing. I'm like, why is she still here? If life is so terrible here and you don't have any job opportunities and everyone hates you, why the fuck are you still here? And she's just like, I will not leave. Okay.
Someone who wants me, out of the picture, someone who, it doesn't make sense who or why or
they control the river now. Gotcha.
or what. And you're just trying to make sense of it. You're like, what the fuck? They eventually like worked out that whole ticket thing and found out that I was telling the truth. I was on like 4 different payment plans. Everyone was claiming to be the city of Chicago. It was like some sort of phishing scheme or like some sort of, I don't know what kind of scheme. They basically would put fake tickets on my windshield with a website on it. And I would go to the website con la cara de pendeja,
I don't know what that means. I don't understand why she busts out Spanish randomly.
Oh, let me pay my tickets. blah, blah, blah. And like pay these tickets. And it was just going to like some third party, like just tickets that did not even exist. Plus, then I had actual like red light camera tickets, but no moving violations, thank God. And the apartment flooding, the stabbing, the stealing all my makeup.
It's like an IRL phishing scam. If that's legit, like it's pretty clever, I guess.
While I was in a biopsy, my uncle passing away, then my kids having to go stay with their father because my significant other was beating the out of me. I mean, beating me up, you guys. Like this man lifted me off the ground by my throat and then dropped me on the floor and started kicking me. And he was on parole. And I called the police and I asked them for help in 2020. And his parole office said, there's nothing we can do. That's a direct quote. There's nothing we can do. You're a parole officer, bro. What the fuck do you mean there's nothing you can do? And he said, you need to go and file an EOP, which is like code for emergency order of protection. So I go out to him, I'm like, okay, I get my courage up. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I was like one of those women that was like, and I still am, that was like, you might be beating the hell out of me, but please don't leave because I'm terrified about how bad it's going to get once you're gone, And I had gotten past that. I was like, get away from me. So that's how I was done because that's not my normal self. And then like the roles reversed and he was like on his knees like, please, I love you. And I'm like, okay, you almost killed me yesterday, bro. You don't love me. And the PO tells me, go to your car, get in the car, go straight to 555 West Harrison and file an EOP. And I'm like, okay, you're right. I got to do this for me, for my kids. I got to do this. I got to be strong. And
they were only together for like 2 days when he got out of jail. Like, how does this story make any sense at all? Like, she's done interviews with other YouTubers where she's even said that as well. Like, when did this happen? Like, how did the opportunity for this even present itself? You know what I'm saying? Because like they were away from each other as far as I remember.
I go out to my car. Lo and behold, this mother had disconnected my starter. I don't know how to reconnect a starter. Yay. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you so much. I don't know how to reconnect a starter. I don't know how to, do any of that. I don't know how to change an oil or whatever. So he disconnects the starter in my car and I can't get there. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah. She's been building on this story actually for a bit, disconnecting the starter. She could hear still with the AirPod that was connected, even though it was like super far away and everything. I guess this is just a continuation of just kind of been building on this for a couple of weeks now.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. So I jump on the train. I'm like, whatever. I'm going to get there. I'm going to file it. It's going to be all good. I get there and file it. And they tell me you can't file because he just like minutes before you requested one on you. Requested one on me? Okay. I get home and they throw me out of my house. So understand, like put this into perspective. They flood my apartment twice, jump and stab me 11 times with screwdrivers, 3 women.
That was way before he got out of jail, though, because that was when you were visiting him in jail. Why are we like listing them off as if these are in order if we're just listing random shit?
Boot my car for $800 purge, put about $1,000 worth of tickets on my vehicle that I paid off.
I wonder if her brain is just like this scrambled that like she has dreams where like this happened, like, and it just fits into the story, but like these puzzle pieces don't fit, they don't match, but she's just jamming them in there. She's like, why doesn't anyone believe me? It's like, because I'm trying to follow the story and it doesn't make any sense.
All of them, and then some that were fake tickets, come to find out. Steal all my makeup while I'm in biopsy for cancer, to check if I have cancer. It was all good, by the way. My uncle passes away. This man almost kills me, literally. He flips the script and gets an EOP on me when all of this is like in like a 6-month period. When in actuality, like he definitely was beating the hell out of me, like real bad. And he was also dosing me on a number of things, ketamine. He was giving me, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into the details of that. There was a lot of shit going on, real bad. And I was not the perpetrator. Okay. I could tell you that much. So all this is going on, and
like, is this stuff that happened before he was even in jail? And she's like, well, that would go against my other story where, I've met, she says she met him at a party in the shower, and then she met him in jail. And then, like, I'm pretty sure, because we've heard from other people that they knew each other before that. Like, they were running stuff together, and being nefarious. And then, like, when he went to jail, that's when Heather was like, oh, this is my shot or whatever. Let me reach out to Love during lockup or Love after lockup. She was the one who reached out to them. It's not like Dylan did it. So I don't know.
And they saw my makeup. They started stealing my clothes. I come home after the EOP was thrown away. His was found to be, what do they say in court when it's a lie?
Perjury.
They found his to be, they dismissed it. And I was able to go back home. And I get back home and this man is in my bed with a bitch. Yep.
This just reminds me of Legion. Remember Legion from Who the Fuck Did I Marry? When did this happen? When did she find Dylan? This is the first I've ever heard of this part of the story. She found Dylan cheating on her in her bed, even though he had an EOP on her and shit already. Like, we keep jumping around. I don't know. I don't know which part of she keeps like, we're going in the future, we're going in the past, we're going all over the place. Who knows when this was?
I swear I could not make this up. I'm like, oh, okay. Fabulous. Like, this is great. Love this. Love this for me. And the whole time, you guys, like, all this stuff is happening and it's like, whoop, like, it's like, oh, I got stabbed today, but my kids are home tomorrow. So are you guys hungry? Have you guys done your homework? Everyone at the table, it's time for homework. Showers in 10 minutes. Like, this is the way my life looks. Like, one day I'm like, who the fuck just stabbed me? What the fuck? Where the fuck are the police? This is some bullshit. 12 hours later, I'm, okay, guys, well, where are your backpacks? Get backpacks by the door, please. Backpacks by the door. Lunches are made. Everyone's ready. Your outfit's laid out. Your outfit's laid out, right? Fantastic. Okay, great.
She thinks she's like, I don't know, the wife in The Sopranos or some shit. Actually, the wife in The Sopranos didn't really even know what was going on, did she? I don't even know who she thinks she's like Nurse Jackie or something. I don't fucking know.
12 hours later, there's a fucking boot on my car. Why the fuck did you guys put a boot on my car?
She thinks she's a mom.
I just got done paying all these tickets. This is ridiculous. Ma'am, you need to report to blah, blah, blah. I have got stab wounds all over my body, ma'am. I cannot walk to Pulaski and Foster to pay an $800 purge to get this boot off. Well, ma'am, blah, 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 blah. I walk the fuck all the way there. I think someone Ubered me halfway. Paid the $800. Kids come home that night. Back to the same old mom life. You guys hungry? What do you want for dinner? You can play after you're done. No fighting over the remote.
Oh, is this where it goes? Audi? I think so. Let's skip ahead. Yeah. All right. So I think she came back after this. Well,
nothing about my life has been normal. Nothing at all. However, I have always lived in the way that I made my own money. I took care of.
And again, I think I got this from Xavier's chakras. If not, then it was like Loco, Coco Chanel, YSL, or possibly Chrissy. I don't know. But like I said, you should sub to everyone down there.
Care of my children. I had my own.
It's been a long week.
Own space. My whole life. I worked in healthcare for quite some time. I worked in content sales, and I thought it was really bad. I thought, honestly, it had a really, really bad effect on me, bad impact on me. But yeah, so all of the bad stuff started, like they started stealing my makeup and doing all this stuff when I started getting like promoted in life. It felt like
promoted in life. Is this the same? This is another copy of the same one. Hold on.
I went from being like this mom who was so like scared and alone and like regular to like a go-getter, you know? And I was like getting money and taking initiative and growing my business and learning business, and
It's part 2. This is part 2. And the other one's part 1. She's just like she's just saying the same shit. It's just a little bit different. You wouldn't be able to tell.
for the first time in my life, I was realizing that I could make money without being employed, and that's when everything started going crazy, like crazy shit, like I told you guys before, the robberies and all that shit. So in like a matter of 6 months, I was getting beaten up, sexually assaulted. My makeup was all stolen from me. Most of my clothing was stolen. My furniture was all stolen. I pretty much escaped that relationship with nothing other than my electronics, my computer, my MacBook, my desktop Mac.
Why are we just listing off items now? These are all gone, Heather. I don't even know where they went, but
my TVs, and like 3 bags of clothes, literally, and maybe like a case like that small of makeup, or smaller than that of makeup. And I had like a big case of makeup that they stole, like a lot of makeup, and like all expensive. I would say my makeup bag that they stole while I was in biopsy probably cost about $500, would be my guess.
like I mean that's a lot of makeup, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know why I was expecting like more.
If you consider that
That was John's bail.
the foundation that I used to wear was $63 a bottle, and there were 2 bottles of foundation, that in itself is $120. Now add in the palettes, the mascaras, the setting powders, the bronzers. I mean, for sure, I had $500 worth of makeup in that bag easily, and they stole it while I was literally having a biopsy. I'm not so much like concerned with who did it as I am concerned with why no one is helping me like fix it.
What are they supposed to do? Like, do we have any leads? Like when people go car hopping and you have like shit taken out of your car, you can tell the police that what are they gonna do? How are they gonna find who did it? Do you have a ring camera? Do you have any evidence? Like if they have nothing to go off, if they have other things they need to do, and it sucks, but like I don't know, man. Lock your car. Don't keep $500 worth of makeup in your car when you're going for a biopsy. I guess because like was she living in her car at the time? I'm assuming it's when she was living in her car, but Jesus, jumping.
Like whatever it is,
It's also like pretty ballsy place to rob from, like cars at the hospital. I imagine like wouldn't the hospital have cameras in the parking lot? Would get them to pull the camera footage. Find the why are you not concerned about finding the person?
If a woman or man came up to me and they were like, dude, I got sexually assaulted and beat up, and I reported it to the law, and I filed court paperwork for help, and still to this day, 4 years later, no one has been of any assistance. And because of that abuse, I was thrown into the street with nowhere to live, and separated from my children, and stalked out of like 20 different jobs and all this stuff. Like, what goes on? Like, how? This is why I say, are we in a simulation? Like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Back to the simulations.
where can you live in America where all of that stuff can happen and you can report it and they never show up to help you? Like, besides like the hood. I'm not in the hood. Look where I'm at.
Yeah, well, we're not in the hood anymore. I guess like is Lincoln Park the hood? Probably not. But yeah, you're in the nice hotel now.
I'm in the down.
And yeah, this person is right. Quack. How many times did you say ex raped and sexually assaulted her? And she's like wants to live with them no matter what the circumstances.
Downtown area regularly, daily. Just doesn't make sense at all, you guys. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And then what doesn't make even more sense is that now that we're
Olive branch is not an option anymore. Oh yeah, the poll. Let me end the poll. Yeah, I think she. What's the other option other than the olive branch? Oh,
here, like after I got out of that relationship, I never went back. I would call that person like only when like I would get robbed or like when bad stuff would happen, because I 100% blamed him for everything that was going on in my life. Like, I never called him asking him for money, even though he owed me. I never called his mom asking her for money, even though he reported that on his TikTok. He says all this stuff on his TikTok and none of it is true. And I swear to God to you,
Dylan? All this shit on Dylan's TikTok?
I wish that Xavier and I could go for like a conference call with me, him, and his third party, his third wheel. It'll never happen because they're so full of shit, you guys. Do you ever meet someone like that like
They're talking about she's talking about Dylan and Marissa, right? She wants to get on a call with them and Xavier. I would love to see that. That would just turn into a shit show.
They have no problem telling a world of lies about you. But when you confront them, especially in front of others, and you're like, let's get to it then, like, let's sort it out, they want nothing to do with it. Like, they're so big and bad talking about you, or I don't even think about that person. That person has nothing to do with me. Like, bitch, you robbed my house and left your hat under my bed with your name embroidered in it.
When did that happen? When they stole the eggs?
Clearly, definitely you think about me, even if you're just thinking about me to rob me or steal what's mine. Like, you've been thinking about me, you know?
I think Dylan and Marissa have like their own problems and they're not worried about Heather right now. And whenever Heather gets brought up, I guess Dylan does think about Heather from time to time when he did those like Ask Me Anythings on Reddit where he promotes like his, I don't know, his other sexual endeavors. But I don't think Marissa gives a shit. Honestly, she thinks about them way more than they think about her. I guarantee that.
Oh. And for him to go on TikTok and tag me in a post that says, my mom just gave Heather $300 yesterday. What? Never, not once. Never. Not once. Never.
Not even once, guys?
We've got to be in a simulation. Like, we just have to. We have to be in a simulation. There's no way. There is no way that this is real life. And now, after everything that I've been through and getting pregnant with Weston while I was on birth control, while I was being held in a tent, assaulted in the tent, robbed pretty much on the regs, beat up, like held down, oppressed in every way, not allowed to work, stalked, having my stuff taken from me, being slandered online, being
battering ram? Why won't I let you say battering ram? What?
Being harassed in real life, all of that stuff. And we finally get into a shelter situation where they tell us this is the last shelter that we will be in. They are going to give me our apartment or our house from here. And then last week they have they come to me and tell me like everyone has to go. The winter bed program is closing. Like, listen, lady, this is not a winter bed program. What the fuck?
What? That's what this is not a winter bed program.
We're in July, okay? It's July tomorrow or today. This is not a winter bed program. This is a shelter, a long-term shelter. We were at the short-term shelter for 2 weeks. They transferred us here and told us we would be here until we got our apartment. How come everyone else in the building got their apartment? Literally. 170 rooms in this building. Every single person is gone except for maybe 5 or 10. And because they got their apartments, but me and Xavier are the only ones who don't. And now they're trying to separate us. I emailed the lady. I'm like, please don't separate us. I'm like, please. They were.
It gives you, when you reload the page, it gives you a summary of the chat by AI. What?
Raping me in the street before this. I'm like, we have a baby in the system that we are doing everything in our power to get out. Please help us. Please help us. She's going to respond tomorrow and tell me what to do. I was like, please, at the very least, let us stay here until the 8th. I do not want to go to a bunch of other places and be separated. And it's just so scary, you guys. I can't even like wrap my mind up around any of this shit.
But these are like your options. If you have no other you can't, like, beggars can't be choosers, right? Like, why are we turning our nose up at any kind of help, Heather?
Like, you would think that at a certain point, a person's life, like, you know what? Okay, let me be positive. This is me. This is my internal chatter. I'm like, you know what? Let me be positive about this. We all have karma, right? So I know I'm a good person. I know for a fact. That's why I said in the beginning, I have never been a shyster. Never have I ever been a shyster.
Does AI say what a shyster is?
So
why is she looking at her nose? Like, what have you been putting up there, Heather?
You know, when it comes down to it, I know I'm still missing my charger. I have no idea where. Oh no, I found it. When it comes down to it, I know for a fact that I don't deserve the things that have happened to me. I know I don't.
That look painful. Do you think she's been doing duster still? Still?
So with that being said, that I know I don't deserve the bad things that have happened to me, and trying to put a positive spin on things, it's like, well, I must really be putting work into my positive karma bank. All these bad things are happening to me. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. So I got stabbed. So that must mean that someday soon, someone is going to caress me and hug me and give me money and make me feel like the most beautiful, loved woman that exists, right? Maybe it'll be Xavier. Maybe Xavier will.
Well, I would hope it'd be Xavier. Who else would it be? Maybe it'll be the person that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. Who knows? Maybe.
Hit the lottery, and him and I will be able to raise our son, and my other 3 children will be able to have a room in our house and come and go as they please. Maybe all the ways that people have harmed me, getting beat up by these dudes and strangled and sexually assaulted.
Shitter or shyster, scammer / liar in Yiddish. Okay.
Maybe that was all so that in the near future, someone can love me so much and treat me so nice, you know? Maybe they stole all my makeup because God wanted me to have better makeup.
Yeah, let's say that. Just keep using the filters. You don't need makeup.
I really don't know. But I say it must be a simulation because it's like there cannot be people on earth who are going through shit like that, as much shit as I have gone through. I'm not trying to compare. I really am not trying to compare. I swear to God. But you guys, they got my baby in the system, and my 3 children are with their dad, and I'm a mom before I'm anything, and they are separating me from that identity for no reason. I swear to God, for no reason. There are bitches out here bogus as hell doing drugs. The drug they said I did was pot.
You did, though. You said you did, and we watched you do it.
Pot's a drug. It's legalized in the state of Illinois, and
you were pregnant.
I don't even take, prescription medication unless it's a prenatal vitamin, but I'm out here doing drugs, please. They're out here saying that I'm doing this and that. I'm not doing any of that shit that they say I'm doing. And
if they said you were doing pot, you were doing pot, pregnant, in the tent. You said you were going to write a thesis on why THC is good for the baby's development.
It makes you wonder, like, who wins by lying on me? Who is winning by lying on me? I don't get it. I don't understand at all. That's why I keep saying, like, this has got to be a simulation. In what world do I live in where, and did I tell you guys the story about the fleeting and eluding that they charged me with? I have no criminal record, okay?
We watched that too. You live streamed that woman.
None. They put me in all these situations, and then once the police are like, grab me, they figure out what's going on, and it's never my fault. Like, not because I have refused to take accountability, but because it's really not my fault. Listen to
That sounds like refusal to take accountability. Okay.
this. So I had my car before they destroyed it. I'm at Walgreens on the corner of Mannheim and Roosevelt Road. Roosevelt and Mannheim. Yep. Roosevelt and Mannheim. Do you guys know it's like Hillside, LaGrange? There's like a Target right there, a Krispy Kreme. They have like a whole bunch of stores like in this little area. I come out of that little area. I go heading south on Mannheim. It turns into LaGrange Road. I take a left onto Roosevelt Road, I believe it is, and turn into the Walgreens parking like that. I go to get my prescription. I was picking up prescriptions. 2021 or 22, I think. Walgreens is like, we don't have your prescription in stock. You have to go somewhere else. I'm like, okay, no problem. Thank you so much. I never got out of my car. I had my seatbelt on the entire time. I was doing nothing wrong. I pull out onto Roosevelt Road heading east. Immediately, I get lit up. The cops are behind me, but it's not a cop car for any city. It's a cop car, all black, tinted as fuck, with one of those lights like that are just, I don't know how to describe it. They're like black, the lights, and like the whole car is black. And so I pull over right away and I'm like, what the fuck, this is ridiculous. I don't know if that's Westchester right there or if it's Broadview or if it's, I don't know what it is, but I pull over immediately. I roll my window down. The cops refuse to get out of the car. I noticed something crazy going on. BLM is during this time. And when I was downtown during the BLMs, I was witnessing.
When I was downtown during the BLMs, that's what we call it now, the BLMs.
Too.
I'll pick up garbages and I participate in the BLMs.
Dudes, grown men being dragged out of their vehicles at red lights. And people just taking off in their cars, just taking off. And I was scared. The news was reporting on a lot of the stuff that was going on during that time, like scary shit, you guys. Cop cars were overturned downtown on fire. Have you ever seen a car on fire, like in front of the Wrigley building? It was like, what the fuck?
The Wrigley building? Okay, wait. How bad was there was BLM riots in Chicago? Like, I know there was in I was gonna say Minnesota, but yeah, Minneapolis and in Minnesota. But was there cop cars upside down on fire in Chicago? I just don't remember that. We'll take Heather's word for it, I guess.
Urban Decay, is more than just a makeup brand.
Pittsburgh? And
piles of bricks on the corners during the protests. Like, who the fuck put piles of bricks out there? Like, it was just crazy, you guys. It was so scary. It was very, very scary. So I'm pulled over and the cop is like looking at me, but he's like yelling over the thing. You're in danger. You're in danger. Please pull over. Please pull over. And I'm already pulled.
Yeah, I remember that.
Over. So I'm like, I roll my window down.
She wasn't pulled over.
And I'm like yelling to the cop, like, I'm like this. I'm like, to the cop.
Maybe this was before she got on live stream and started driving away, being like, these are fake cops, and yelling at people who were driving beside her to help her.
And I'm like turning around and telling him, come on, like, come to my window already. Like, what the fuck are you doing? We were sitting there like 4 or 5 minutes. So the cop goes like this, like, and I'm like, no. He wanted me to like pull off of the shoulder at Roosevelt. There was hardly any traffic. It's like a 6-lane street, hardly any traffic, like a Sunday afternoon or something, super, super slow outside. I'm in the shoulder and he wanted me to like pull into like this dark alleyway. And I'm like, nope, not going. I'm like, not going. No, sir. No, sirree, Bob. So the cop says again, like, go over there. And I'm like, no. I'm like, you come here. And I go live. I go live on my phone and I put my phone in, like, I was driving DoorDash. I was Dasher of the Month at the time. And I put my phone in my little, like, thing. And on my windshield, and I went live. Boop. So I'm live during this on Instagram at the One Heather GEE account. And I say it again. Now we're at like minute 6, 7 that I've been sitting there and the law's not coming out of the car. So I get on my other phone. I always have another phone on me. Pro tip, even if your other phone does not.
Pro tip from Heather here. Let's see what it's going to be. Give me 1 second.
Not have service, you can always dial 911 from it. Keep your burner phones, keep your extra phones, keep your old phones, keep.
Oh, because you can dial 911 from any phone. Yeah, yeah, you can. It's pretty nifty.
Your non-working phones, keep your shattered phones. Always have an extra phone on you because you can dial 911 from them with or without service. So I had an extra phone on me, and a lot of content creators have multiple phones because you need one phone to shoot, you need one phone to talk, whatever you're doing, whatever.
I don't know. I keep my old phones because I'm not paying to like give the phone back after. Why would I do that?
So I had this extra phone on me, not this exact one, but another one. So I call 911. And I'm going live still. And I'm on the phone with 911. I'm like, hi, my name is Heather Gillespie. I'm driving a Cadillac CTS in the color champagne. I gave her my license plate number. I'm like, it's my car. I have no warrants. I have no criminal record. I'm pulled over on the south east corner of Roosevelt Road and LaGrange Avenue. I'm not sure what town this is. There is a black unmarked truck who has some sort of lights on his car who has pulled me over. And I want to know if you can verify that this is an actual traffic stop. I swear to God to you guys, on speakerphone, on the live, this lady goes, I can neither confirm nor deny that this is a traffic stop. That was all I needed to hear.
Of course they can't, because they don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, oh my God.
I dropped the phone. I put the car into drive. I took off. In that exact moment, not 30 seconds later, not 10 seconds later, like this, simultaneously, 10 fucking cop cars, like almost like I was in like some movie, like some Men in Black type shit. Like if the cop car behind me like morphed into like.
What are the? You gotta screenshot some of them and send them to me after. I'm interested to see what they are.
5 other cars. Literally, it looked like that. From just the one car behind me to literally like 6, 7, 8, 9 cars in like a 1 minute period. They just kept coming out of nowhere. At this point, I'm doing like, I don't know, 60 miles per hour.
I seen 2, maybe 3 tops, not 8. There wasn't 8 cop cars chasing her
on Roosevelt Road trying to get to the expressway. I'm terrified. I'm crying. I'm live. I'm like, you guys, it's not a real cop. I don't.
I'll find the live. Since she's like describing this, we'll do a throwback. I think it's only a couple minutes anyways, but you can see how Heather.
I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. And I'm like literally live this entire time. I turn left onto, I went into Broadview. I was heading north and I was heading towards 290 and I crossed over into Maywood. And 2 cops tried to like pick me off and do like a head-on collision with me. I threw the car in reverse before I could ever even put it in park. All of a sudden, I'm driving 40, 30 miles an hour backwards down Roosevelt Road. I go backwards onto the side street, put it forward, go like the other way, and I'm like going down, I want to say probably like 19th or 25th Avenue, but like 2 blocks over. You know how they have the busy streets and then like...
Okay, so here, well, you guys can see this fucking thing, and you tell me if this is what she's describing here.
You guys, I need help. There are officers boxing me in everywhere. I don't think that they're real officers. I'm afraid. I need help. I called 911. They're not sending anyone. I'm terrified. Please help me.
911 is already there. They're already there.
These are not... I need help. These officers are literally boxing me in, trying to hurt me. I don't know them. I have not committed a crime. I literally pulled over. I pulled over because an officer was trying to pull me over, okay? I pulled over. He tried to force me into a parking lot. I don't know where this parking lot is. I don't want to be off the main road because of the issues I've had with law enforcement for no good reason.
For no good reason. Look at the camera shaking. She's upset, guys.
Now they're trying to force me into an isolated parking lot that is off the main street where everyone could see me. I say no, and they try to box my car in. They won't pull me over on the regular street. Why won't they pull me over in front of everyone? If there's no problem, see, look, nope. Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! No! No! No!
I don't know what she's saying no at now. Like, I don't know what this person did. Maybe they had like 911 on. Does you want me to call 911? No! The police are my enemies.
No! They help me! What the fuck are they doing? You don't get to do this. They're going from town to town. They're following me from Westchester to Maywood. They will not identify themselves. They have
She's trying to get out of their jurisdiction, I think.
no labels on their cars. This is corruption. I just went to Walgreens. I'm going to show you. I'm going to upload a video of this. They would not dispense me my medication after being assaulted sexually. Now they are trying to force me into a parking lot, which I said no already. I will not do. This is awful. I'm not doing this. This is awful. This is gang related or mob related or something.
They eventually give up chasing her because she's being too dangerous, and then they just serve her later. Like, they find out where she's at and then serve her, being like the fleeing and looting thing that she's complaining about in the other line that we just came from.
I don't know what. I'm not pulling over. I need help. I don't know what to do. They're following me from town to town. This is clearly not their jurisdiction anymore. If they're real police officers, then how do they do that? And look, now that I just said that, they just went away. Look at this. Now that I just said that, they just went away. This is...
Yeah, it was you saying that. It wasn't like your erratic, crazy behavior and driving that made them be like, all right, we'll just find her later.
Corruption. This is disgusting. I need help. This has been over a year of this. I need help. Me and my children need to be removed from this fucking corrupt ass state immediately. I need help. I am not safe. Look, they're gone now. You guys all just saw that. Did you not?
So that's basically it. Like, that's the end of the chase. But keep that in mind while we're watching this and her describing this crazy story.
The little, like, they look like alleys, but they're actual streets. And I'm going down that street and I'm so scared, and I'm live the entire time. And this black guy, this old black guy, super gray old guy, driving a huge Bourbon, probably like a 2005 or 2004 Chevy Suburban. He pulls his Suburban. I'm crying, and I have my windows down, and it was winter, and I'm crying. I'm like, I'm scared. Help me. They're trying to hurt me.
The person that we saw her pull up beside, is that who she's talking about?
And he pulls his Suburban behind my car so I could pass, and picks off the police so that they cannot follow me. And I get on the expressway 290 and I dip to Chicago.
No, it was, you said something that made the police run away. That's what you said. That's what we literally just saw. What the fuck is she talking about? Her memory is terrible. This is all documented, Heather, by you. I think you know.
I went to report being raped about 3 weeks later. And when I went in person to the police to report being raped, I was put in handcuffs and charged with fleeing and eluding.
I don't know.
I kid you not. I swear to God. They made me bond out. I had no money. I was sleeping in the backseat of my vehicle. I'm a mom. A fitness influencer.
You could have fooled me.
Who sometimes used to sell sexy content in 2018-19. I worked at the hospital for 6 years downtown. I worked at Alexian Brothers Hospital in the suburbs. I had 10 years of healthcare experience under my belt, and 3 children under the age of 12 at home. No, under the age of 14 at home at that time. I was so exhausted, you guys, and I still am, because I've had no closure from any of this. None. No one has apologized to me. I have not received any victim services. I did not receive that bond money back. I wasn't guilty. I didn't flee and elude. I sat there for 10 minutes.
She didn't sit there for 10 minutes to flee and elude. You fled and elude. You fled and eluded.
Asking the officer what was going on, he refused to get out of his car. He tried to lure me into a dark, cut-off alley space off of the road. I called 911 and I asked them, who is this person? Is this a real traffic stop? And the dispatch said, we cannot confirm or deny. And get this, after that, when I got to Chicago, because I went to drive DoorDash, and I drove DoorDash for like 3-4 days after that. And I called as soon as I got to like a good stopping point in Chicago, and I called 911 again, and I explained what happened, and they told me, oh yeah, we'll put you in contact with that jurisdiction. And I said, okay, thank you. And they transferred me to the police. I don't even remember the city. And I said to the sheriff, I said, or the what's the name of that guy, like the top guy in the police station, the sergeant. I said to the sergeant, sir, I'm not a criminal. I'm not doing anything wrong. En esos momentos estoy viviendo muy espantada.
Why does she do that with the Spanish all the time? Stop that.
Todos los pinches días. I was afraid to come. I was afraid to go. I was afraid to sleep. I was afraid to stay awake. It was terrible. I mean, terrible. There was nothing that would make me feel safe ever, other than being at home with my kids. And that was the one thing they would not allow for me for whatever reason. I am a fantastic mother with custody of her children and court-ordered documents saying I'm the custodial parent. But every single...
No. Joint primary legal custody, okay?
time I try to go home, they kick off some more shit. Not my kids, not my family, but like this third party, I don't know what it is. That's why I say it's a simulation. It has to be. It's engineered, it's curated, it's something. And I spoke with the sergeant and I told him, look, like 10 cops just like violently pursued me right now after I stopped and allowed them to, you know, they had ample opportunity to discuss things with me. It was almost like they were planning this, like it was weird, you know. And I explained to him, I have been, you know, subjected to domestic violence in the last 6 months that has led to me being homeless. And I'm literally in the street right now. There's BLM going on. COVID is going on. Everyone's wearing masks. It was so scary. You know, it was a very scary time to be a single woman in the street. And I'm like, please, you know, I don't know what these guys wanted, but when I called 911 and I'm like, and I have a live stream of this, I called 911 and they told me, we don't know if it's a real cop. And I hung up the phone and I drove away. And he goes, well, you need to come here right now because you are being charged with fleeing and eluding. And I said, but I didn't flee and elude from a traffic stop. I waited 10 minutes for a police officer to come out, called 911, they told me that they could not confirm. I said, can you tell me what I should or could have done better? He's in an unmarked car, refusing to show a badge. I'm a single woman alone in the driver's seat of a vehicle, complying with a traffic stop. And he pretty much like laughed in my face and told me, we're going to charge you, and hung up the phone. And I thought it was a joke, you know. I really thought it was like one of you know who's friends. Like they always do fucked up shit like that. That I was like, you know, I was acting dramatic. That probably was just like 2 or 3 cops when I thought it was 10. They were in unmarked cars, so it probably wasn't really cops. And you know who had done a lot of fucked up shit with my phone. He's like a technology person. You guys don't understand. He knows how to call forward. So I thought when I was calling the police, he probably call forwarded my phone again. And it was probably another one of his friends. And I probably had nothing to worry about. Well, I went and got sexually assaulted like three days later, went to go report it to the police. And I swear to
As if she's like, is there anything else I could have done? Maybe not have fled the cops. Maybe not that. That would have probably been a great idea, you know. But Gypsy Sizer B52, thank you for the $2 super stick. I appreciate you.
Swear to God to you, I'm in there reporting rape. I walk in to report rape and they put handcuffs on me and said, you're under arrest for fleeing and eluding. Charged me $400 bond to get out.
I don't even think that's real either, because we've seen her get served for like I don't know if it was like the court date or just like the charge itself for fleeing and eluding at that guy's house, like that random guy's house. And she was coming out of the shower and she was in her towel and she was like pointing the camera out from the blinds, being like, look at this, shaking the, you know, being typical Heather.
I had to go to traffic school and then it was supervision. So it wasn't a conviction and it fell off of my record after a year. But the point is, I had to pay. I was terrified. I was incredibly alarmed. Driving skills super on point though. And shout out to that guy.
Driving. What do you rate her driving skills on a scale of 1 to 10?
Who picked off those police officers for me, because I mean, I don't know of a single time in my life that I've been as terrified as that time. I don't think one exists, truthfully. I've written about all of this in the novel that I have coming out.
When is the novel coming out? It's been years in the making.
I'm at a space where I really, really need access to my technology. I need my computer. I would like to work with ChatGPT and maybe an editor.
Like the night that her kids got taken from her, she started the novel, supposedly, or was on the first chapter of it, or had written the first chapter. So it's been a long time coming. I really would love to see this novel. Where is it?
And I know I could get this book done. And I so many people want me to, I'm already on page like 470 something handwritten. And so many people want me to like continue living life and have like a positive like ending to share, pardon me, because of all the tragedy that I've already survived. And I agree. But at the same time, it's like, I'm 37. I'm 37, 29 if anyone asks. And I'm probably going to live till I'm like 200 years old or something.
Not at the rate you're going. What the fuck are you talking about? Your tooth is definitely not going to make it to 200. What is 200? That's lofty.
You know?
I'll be lucky to make it to 60.
So why not just put this book out right now? Publish this book right now.
Megan disagrees.
And come out with, make it a trilogy. You know what I mean? So I am looking for assistance in that area, and I'll split the profits with you if we market this correctly. There are a lot of opportunities. A lot of people know me or know of me and would be interested in reading this book. A lot of people probably think that they have been written about in this book. So I feel like it would make the sale, we could sell it on Amazon. We could do a self-publishing situation.
Who's we now? What, all the people you've written about? Dylan, Marissa, you, Xavier? Your family members? Who else could be Gary V, Joel Olstein, who's another guy she's always going on about. I think that's about it. That'd be pretty much anyone who's in the book. And then all they, Gog Magog. I don't think you could get they and Gog Magog to sign off on what does she want? Does she want investors for the book? Because she's like, we could really, what are we gonna do? Let's see what she says.
We would not need to put much money up front. I mean, with less than $100, I feel confident that we could publish this book.
Like $100 from each person or just total? I will give you $100, Heather, to make this fucking book. I don't think it'll ever come out.
It's mostly ready to publish. Like I said, if I use ChatGPT, which I can get for under $50 on my phone and have an editor who's experienced, I know that I could get this book, done really quickly. I've been working on it for a little under 5, a little over 4 years. But that is just one of like numerous situations that I've written about in this novel. There was a time when bandits were doing formations.
What? Oh, no, I was going to be like the littlest bandit. That's the littlest. I'm thinking of the littlest hobo. I was just thinking about a bunch of dogs doing formations, and I was like, what the fuck is she talking? Still, I don't know what she's talking about, but I had an odd image in my head there for a second.
They were doing literal formations where like they were simulating, I believe it was a simulation of a heist from a truck, from a CDL truck, like one of those big, huge trucks. It was wild, you guys. There's just a lot that I've written about and a lot that I've been through that is painful, that is exhausting, that is exciting, that is amazing, that is, all of these things. But at the end of the day, sitting in these circumstances, I cannot really accomplish much. One of the ladies here at the shelter, she said to me, and like I low-key hated her for saying it, but she was telling the truth. I was like, I keep on rebuilding my life. I keep on rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding. And she interrupted me and she's like, stop. She's like, you can't rebuild your life while you're in a shelter. And I was like low-key offended, like, damn. But she's kind of right, because 2 weeks after we had that conversation, now they're telling me like, we're going to move you. Don't know why, don't know where, don't know when, don't know if Xavier's going to be there with you. Don't know if they're going to.
But we know that plan. Xavier has a plan to stay with her that I don't think is going to work.
Rape you again. Don't know much of anything. But
I'm sure they didn't say that. I'm sure they didn't say, I don't know if they're going to grape you again. That's not something they would say.
you're not going to be allowed to bring, this, and that. And they don't even give you like a clear answer. Like, this is what you can and can't bring with you. This is how much stuff you could bring with you. And everyone gives you a different like explanation. So I did email that lady. I was talking about this earlier on my other live, Azilia. I emailed her with like all the details of what I have, the pumping and what I need, my son's stroller and his car seat and all of that. But apart from the necessities of life, literally 2 bags, anything I buy myself or that someone gives me, they either steal it, tell me I can't have it so that I'll throw it away and then they go take it out of the trash, or I have to like abandon it somewhere or store it somewhere. So they're telling the truth, I apply like it's my job. Oh my God, I apply like it's my job. It's so frustrating. I get so frustrated with the application process. I'm like, this is ridiculous. We're just living in a time where I cannot tell a lot of days what the best next step is. Xavier was sitting next to me the other day, and I don't remember who told us, the security guard or someone told us about like this application for housing. Now, we're under the impression we're already on the Section 8 waiting list. Like, the people who have helped us, we've signed no less than like 50 to 100 forms, Xavier and I, giving all of our personal information, our demographic information, our socials, our birthdays, our legal names. We've signed all these forms, and we've been told.
I'm really not digging the music behind here. And like, who are you giving this information to? The housing people?
Told that this was for housing, but yet
yeah,
they're putting us in.
You're in a house, right?
A different shelter, and we go to the HUD and the CHA websites, enter our information, and it says nothing on there. Nothing at all whatsoever. It says nothing. It says there's no client ID that matches that name and information. Like, so what the fuck have they been doing with all these 50, 100 forms that have my name, signature, date of birth, social security, etc., and so forth on them? What's really going on?
What's really going on here?
So tomorrow we're going to, besides waiting for the email that has all of the specifications and information that I need to know, because here's my another big thing I have. If I'm breast pumping every 4 to 6 hours and I have to have a roommate that's not Xavier, I need Xavier. Like, I need him is the bottom line. But if I have to go with someone else in a shelter situation where I have to set an alarm on my phone for every 4 to 6 hours, that means at 10 p.m. That means at 1 or 2 a.m.
You could have it vibrate in your pocket. You wouldn't need to have, like, are you saying, like, you wouldn't want to wake up the other person? They would also be female because it'd be a woman's shelter. So, like, I don't think you would have to worry about, like, I don't know. You should feel more comfortable about it, I guess is my point. Excuses. We need Xavier with us.
A.m. That means at 5 or 6 a.m. I'm going to have an alarm and multiple alarms because I don't always wake up for the first alarm. So my alarm might go off at 5 and then I'll set another one at 5:30. Both of them will be going off till 5:45 until I finally wake up. There's nothing I can do about it. And then I pump. That's loud.
She bathes in it, Ryan. It's for her bubble baths now. You're making bath bombs with the breast milk. Do you think she's like dehydrating her breast milk for the bath bombs? Could you imagine? Jesus Christ.
And then
there's an idea for like Belle Delphine or whatever the fucking OnlyFans chicks are doing these days.
I take the express milk and put it in a sterilized bag. All of this has to be done with the lights on or some sort of light source. I can't see in the dark. I'm not a fucking bat.
Should we buy Heather night vision goggles so she has no excuse to not go to the shelter? It'd be like stepbrothers. And they turn the light on and they blind each other.
And then I have to wash the pumping supplies in the sink. And then I have to wander around on, this is my fridge. Stax gave it to us. And that's where I keep the breast milk. I'm bringing it with. So hopefully they'll let me have it. Because if they don't have it, then I'm just going to be wandering around the hallway, like looking for a fridge at 1 a.m, 4 a.m, random times, 10 p.m. Mm-hmm. And then come back in the room, open the door. All that is making noise, turning on the light again, washing the bottles out, washing the pump supplies, leaving them to dry. and then go back to sleep for a few hours and do it all again in 3-4 more hours? What roommate is going to be okay and not give me a hard time over that? So then I'm either going to be in a situation where I'm getting bullied or I'm being forced to engage in altercation with someone for feeding my child.
You're probably right, Jared and Lucan. Xavier is definitely drinking the used bath water. It's gonna make us strong like the baby, because babies are so strong and their skin is so soft. This is just weird. I don't know. Everything Heather says is weird this week.
We should be way past this. We should not be at the part of my story where I'm just barely getting into a shelter. We've been in a shelter now since February. We should be getting into our own apartment. We should be getting answers and responses and understanding and follow-up and all of that. And it's not confidence that makes me share these things. It's the opposite. It's complete and total insecurity. I am so insecure with the fact that I have been raised to believe in police, to believe in criminal intervention and systemic justice. And I'm getting none of that. None of that. It's terrifying. Like, of course I feel insecure. It's not about sex or anything, looks or weight or anything like that. Like, none of that. I don't feel safe.
Okay, but lots of people don't feel safe in just like everyday situations that are probably pretty safe. I mean, like I feel sorry for you, Heather. Kinda, not really. I'm sure you've made a lot of other people feel unsafe in your life, so maybe it's karma. But like, yeah, beggars can't be choosers. I don't like the music in the background. It reminds me of those like I wouldn't say commercials. I guess more infomercials, PSAs with the Indians, and they're like, oh, there's garbage everywhere and things used to be good and now they're not. And it's just like, but it's Heather bitching about every little thing in her life. And there's like pan flutes in the background being like, trying to be peaceful and shit. I don't know. It's off-putting.
I don't feel like I have answers, and I miss my children. If there were writers who were going to write a movie or a book or a sitcom about my life,
a sitcom would be more appropriate. Yeah, a sitcom about Heather's life with Xavier.
Let everyone know from the beginning, I would never, ever, 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 ever authorize being a part of a horror movie.
It'd be a dark comedy,
or a tragedy. My life is supposed to be a rom-com. Period. I don't know how to fight. I don't want, to be an adversary with anyone. And I believe that if there's a problem, identifying the problem and coming up with solutions is the answer.
Gray Alien, how you doing? I don't know who this chick is, nor do I care, but I'm glad I talked to Daisy. She has a lawyer and court on Tuesday. Yeah, she has court on the 9th. It's good that she got a lawyer. I got your email, by the way. I share pretty much the same sentiment as you. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna do a Daisy stream tomorrow with a special surprise. So you'll see.
Sir, that's just what I believe. It's what I've always believed. Come up with solutions, identify the problem. Don't argue with someone, whatever, So Xavier's like literally over here like, well, should I try to turn into a trans so that they'll let me
this is the plan, guys.
Be, in the room with you. This is my husband, Xavier. We have a baby together. We're trying to make a life together. Both of us have been through it, completely through it. Some of the other stuff I've been through. Now understand again, like I said the last time, I'm not a mom who is like out in the streets, like getting it in and doing all of this. I'm a mom who literally was.
Yeah, wasn't Xavier trans? I mean, like she's always kind of accused Xavier of being trans. She's like, yeah, they replaced Xavier with trans Xavier again. But yeah, we gotta check to see if that Sims channel made any new content actually, because I like that channel. I like it. We'll see if they have anything new.
It was at home with her children every single day, every day. My kids would go with their father on the weekend, and I would go to work, not to go out and club and dance, to go to work, work in promotions, bottle service, entertainment, whatever.
to go to the club and dance and get paid. I mean, like, you probably dance and doing bottle service. Look at that face. Oh, that face responds on.
Work. I would make probably like triple what the average person would make on an entry-level income, a minimum wage to like a little higher than minimum wage income. Whatever they were making in 5 days, 8 to 10 hours a day, I was able to make in 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, while also going to visit and support my significant other and take care of anything that I had to take care of that I couldn't take care of while the babies were at home. I was working hard. I was working, always. Never did illicit drugs. Well, that's a lie. I did do illicit, like when you talk about illicit, I've tried like an ecstasy pill before. I smoked pot on the regular basis. Never did I like to do any of that other stuff. I never tried any of the hard stuff. And the white one, like
I'm talking with my mic muted, like Jordy does sometimes. Oh, Lordy is Jordy. Anyways, I came for Daisy. She asked me to report you, and I didn't because you look like my boyfriend and you seem nice. And she's facing a minimum of 3 years. Yeah, she is facing a minimum of 3 years. Thank you for not reporting my channel. I don't think it would have gone anywhere because I play by the rules on YouTube. At least I try to. Usually, whenever I get reported and they try to take away something, I appeal it, and they're usually like, "You're right, Steve. It was one video last month, and then I think the month before we were good. Everything I uploaded, I was good, and then before that. But no, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. If you guys have been following Daisy, she's in jail right now, and it's kind of a messy situation.
the powder. I hated it. Tried it a couple times. Not for me at all.
I don't know about that.
Whatsoever. Not for me. Not even a little. So I'm not like one of these mothers that's out here like partying it up and like living her best life. No, my addiction was to paying my bills and getting my kids the things they needed. That is what I was addicted to. I was addicted to being the best mother that I could possibly be.
That's why you chose Dylan's dick in jail over your kids, right? And yeah, but she has charges for cocaine possession. We pulled up her arrest record on one of the streams. Was it a members only stream? I have a feeling it might have been a members only stream just because I think it was the same stream that I was pulling up Dylan's arrest record. And usually I don't like provoking Dylan because Dylan's a big, scary man who likes to hit Marissa whenever something doesn't go his way. But like Heather is like, she does. I'm a small drop in Heather's world. You know what I mean? Now I forget what I was rambling about. Something. That'll come back to me.
At all times.
Oh, the cocaine possession. Yeah, she was charged with cocaine possession.
Literally. That was my life. That still is my life. With whatever I'm going through. You know, if that means parenting my children from FaceTime video multiple times a day, if that means my child isn't answering the phone for me, so I blow her up 20 times. My daughter is 18 years old this year. If she's ignoring my phone calls, she doesn't have anyone who's going to go hunt her down and figure out what's going on. I'm going to call. It's a little different with the 10-year-old because she's with her father and he's very, very, you know, his father and his father's, her father and her father's mom are always with her. My 16, 17-year-olds, they're like in that time period where it's like they may or may not be in the house with some sort of parent, you know?
Yeah, so there's not constant parental supervision. They're also at that age where they can kind of make decisions for themselves. But your 10-year-old, thank God, has a father that doesn't want you around her. I mean, the court system already said, like, you shouldn't be around your kids. And he's trying to make sure of that, right? She was, like, visiting the kids in the park with Xavier, like the older ones, before they were, like, as old as they are now. And that got her in trouble and some extra stuff in her, I think. So, like, again, like, this is the same thing. It kind of got Daisy in a little bit of trouble. It's like, you got to follow the rules if you want to, like, participate in society. It's the best way I can put it. You know, it sucks. Like, not everyone likes all the rules. When weed was illegal, it wasn't like I agreed with that, but you got to at least pretend to color in the lines, or else this is the shit that's going to happen to you.
You know, so I need to figure it out. Like, the 10-year-old's not going outside on her own. You know, with the big kids,
I'm crazy that she's scheming on how to get around the system to fucking illegally see your kids, which is going to be detrimental to her if she does want to have any relationship with them in the future.
Listen, yes, I'm going to blow up your shit. I just had a huge fight with my daughter this morning. I didn't really say anything. It was kind of
Yeah, after this live, we'll do a smoke break. I'm going to need one too.
one-sided, but she was being awful because I was blowing her up. And I'm like, bro, so, you know, I don't, and I'm this type of parent that does not believe in beating up my kid. I've spanked my child in the past. You know, all my children have probably gotten a swat, but like, I'm the type of parent that wants to parent back with love. You know, like when my daughter's being an asshole, I want to be like, yo, what is wrong? Are you okay? It's okay. I love you. This is exactly what I said to my daughter. I said to her, I believe my daughter is loving. My daughter is kind. My daughter is sweet. My daughter is compassionate. My daughter is smart. My daughter is beautiful. My daughter is amazing. I love my daughter. I said my baby. I love my baby. I
see, like, I think you guys know I'm pretty pro drug. Like, you put, it's your body. Do what you want with your body. But at the same time, like, if you're a parent, it comes down to, like, what do you love more, drugs or your kid? Because, like, if you love your kid, you'll give up drugs to make sure, like, if I was a parent, I wouldn't want to risk having my kid taken away because I like getting high. Like, I think the kid would be more important to me than getting fucking high. But, you know, we all can't be Heather Gillespie over here. I wish I could, like, just try on her brain for a day and see what it's like in there, you know?
I really, really try, you guys, so hard, as difficult as it is to parent in this way, especially when you're used to being the primary parent. I just try to keep uplifting them. Like, when I'm an asshole, it means someone has been treating me like real bad, you know? So maybe
I see you, Gray Alien. I won't highlight anymore then, because they'll be in, like, the hard copy video if I do.
they can't tell me or won't tell me what's going on exactly, or maybe it's nothing and it's just teenage angst. Isn't that what they say? Either way, I try to just always parent with love, you know, always to the best of my ability. But I want to be with my kids, and I'm terrified of the next steps, you guys. I'm absolutely terrified. I have been in a state of heightened anxiety and anxiousness.
Yeah, I swear I've never heard that. Heather coined that term, remote parenting. It's beautiful.
Since we found out we needed to move from here, and even that was not like any sort of like peacefulness. I was feeling safe because I was not in a tent anymore, but I still felt like very scared. What was making me feel peaceful was the fact that we had a meeting where everyone was like, look, you guys are going to get your apartments while you're here. If you're not home, meaning you're not in your room, someone is going to put a letter on your bed that says, this is your case manager who you talk to. You call them and they're going to give you the keys to your apartment or townhome. So I felt like case closed, you know, it's done. This homelessness period is over.
I don't know what she's on, because, like, she has to go to Narcotics Anonymous at the churches in order to get her kid back. So she has to be, like, being tested, which means, like, she wouldn't be able to do, unless she has a prescription, but I don't think she does. She wouldn't be able to do any drugs without it affecting that, except supposedly Duster. I didn't know Duster didn't show up in a drug test, but I guess, like, it's not really a drug. I don't know what Duster is. It's nitrous oxide or some shit, right? Or something worse. I guess I could look that up. We'll look that up. There's no new Xavier and Heather Sims videos, unfortunately. Womp womp. But when there is, I'll show you guys. And you guys go sub to Heather and Xavier. Their link is in the description.
I struggled the most and went through everything. And, you know, I could have done a lot of really bad things while I was outside. I didn't. Do you know what I did while I was outside? Nothing. Applied for jobs and cried, literally. Oh, I did do one productive thing, and that's a GoPro solo production. If you guys check that out on Instagram, I was thinking about making a separate TikTok for it. It's kind of like a different spin on, you know, the Dhar man style of like moral and ethical content. It got me asking the question, like, what's your impact? And kind of like trying to stand up to bullies through social media. So I would do, the whole time I was homeless, I curated all of those photo shoots. So I was being productive besides applying for jobs, besides.
I don't know. I don't like this. Give me a second here. This this is bleak. Oh, I don't know if it's bleak. It's just like I don't like reading stuff like this. So it says, however, the gases are actually much okay. So people think that it's mistakenly believed that the can only contains normal air or contains a less harmful substance such as nitrous oxide, for example. However, the gases are actually used much denser than air, usually diphtholophenifine. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to pronounce it. When inhaled, the gas displaces the oxygen in the lungs and removes carbon dioxide from the blood. It can cause the user to suffer from hypoxia. Contrary to popular belief, the majority of the psychoactive effects in these inhalants is not a result from oxygen deprivation. The euphoric feeling produced stems from cellular mechanisms that are dependent on the molecular structure of the specific inhalant, as is the case with all psychoactive drugs. So I don't know. It's messing with your brain, and it's not nitrous oxide, which they give you that shit like at the dentist, right? Yeah. So I was like, that can't be that bad for you. Like maybe that's why it doesn't show up in a drug test, but it sounds like a lot more like that just makes me cringe and it makes my blood feel weird, even though I'm not doing it. It's like it makes me, I'm never gonna do it. Fuck that shit. We don't need that. We don't need that here.
It's calling housing, besides looking for shelter, besides checking on my children, besides. I was also building that, what I refer to as a non-for-profit Go Pro Solo.
That's right, babe. Science, bitch.
So that I could try to support other people who were going through what I was going through in my own way. Like from telling them, I understand, I see you, you're not crazy. I hear you, you're right. I'm not going to gaslight you. I'm not going to tell you that it's not bogus. I'm not going to tell you that, you're wrong for seeing what you see. I want to impact people by telling them that I do see them and that they're right. And what can we do?
Is that one of the requirements? Like they need to get a job so they can actually like pay the rent before they get them housing? That would make a lot of sense in my mind, right? They'll be like, we'll find you affordable housing, but you need a job first, or else like, why would we?
Do to solve? What can we do to move forward? I don't want to be someone's adversary. I don't want to be anyone's adversary, and I don't want anyone to be my adversary. If we have a disagreement, then let's just agree to disagree or convince me otherwise, which is.
Yeah, like even if she did like a GoPro, so like let's say she did do cam work and she was bringing in her own money that way, like it's a job. It's like she is working. She's doing something. You know what I mean? She's not just bitching on camera and expecting super jet planes or whatever, $79 pop. Like who would honestly though, like this is with slight tweaks here and there, the same story we've been hearing for a year that you can hear for free on this channel, on any of the other archive channels of Heather. Why would you pay $79 to hear this? It doesn't, I honestly, if she was doing the TikTok battle still and she was actually like talking to the audience, maybe I would pay $5 for that. But like $79, come on, Heather.
Which is another one of my parenting techniques. I always tell my children, if I say something is yes and you say something is no, or the other way around, I'm never going to be the mom that says, shut up and don't talk to me. I'm going to be the mom that's the opposite of that. Like, well, why? Convince me otherwise. If you think I'm wrong, tell me why. So it's just craziness, you guys, out here. They have not given us any sort of real answers onto what's going to happen. I sent, like I said, a really long, detailed email kind of letting the director of the next place know, like, listen,
I am sure they're tickled pink that they're going to be getting to meet you soon. I'd be reading this email and be like, oh, fuck, we got another one of these coming in. So if she's not going to the Olive Branch, or do you think she is going to the Olive Branch? I wonder where else she'd be going. I think it's the Olive Branch.
I want you to understand that I'm grateful, but I don't want to put myself or my family in a situation to be harmed or to.
Wait, isn't Whippets though, like with the whipped cream? I think that is nitrous, yeah. But the air, like the keyboard air duster is different, I think. Unless like, does whipped cream have bad stuff in it too? That'd be scary.
To be, I want to give you as much information about how I'm coming in and what my needs are as possible, because we do have other caseworkers who are looking for housing for us. And this shelter, we can be here until July 8th. So I'd prefer not to move from shelter to shelter. I'd prefer to be here until we get our apartment, so this is what we need. Can we make this happen? If we can't make it happen, can we push the move-in date back until, I find a workaround? For instance, this is what I have with me. These are the items I have with me. Can I bring them in? If I can't bring them in, then can we push the date back so that I can find a way to store them? I might need to get a storage, and then I need to do a fundraiser. I usually do my fundraisers on Instagram, or Xavier asks his dad, or my mom sometimes helps. But really, for the most part, it's just been, me doing fundraisers this entire time. And what I call a fundraiser is like just an online virtual fundraising event where I tell people, look, this is what I have a need for. This is what's going on in my life right now. Please help me. And they either do or they don't. But yeah.
Life is a fundraiser when you're Heather. That's not the right syllables. All night long.
It's just incredibly anxiety producing. And the way I stay positive through it all is I don't. I start crying and I freak the fuck out, I guess making content and putting yourself out there in an embarrassing way and just, bearing all your business out there is a coping skill in itself, because a lot of people will disagree with me. They'll say, when you vent or when you share your business, people could use it against you. I've seen the
find a work, pick up garbages, stay away from the BLMs.
Opposite happen. I've seen people's dirty laundry get used against them, and these people have been puppets and dogs with a collar around their neck for the rest of their lives. Their children, their families are affected, and I never wanted that for myself. I always wanted to be out there and forward with my battles and my adversities and my struggles, because if you hear it from me, then you know what it is. I don't need to defend any rumors. I don't need to say they're wrong, they're right. I don't even need to address the gossip. If I put it out there and say what it is, then that's what it is, and I don't need to entertain anything else. Not only that, but I also don't need to be extorted. There's no one that's going to come to me and be like, oh, if you don't XYZ, I'm going to tell social media that you blah, blah, blah. Well, they already know. So, that's my own preference. But some of these social media people, you guys, are just ridiculous. Like, there's some group that is getting funded, and the girls who are getting like FaceTime on their campaigns are fucking and sucking for it. Literally.
For what campaigns? What are we talking about exactly? Like, what social media? What for? Like, what?
I am not lying. They are putting people off of their teams if they don't engage in like sexual acts with them.
Teams? Like Bigo? Bigo has teams.
It's crazy. It is crazy out here. And that's another one of my fears. I don't want to go into this next shelter space. Xavier and I were promised that we would.
People huff spray paint. That can't be good. Imagine getting like a bunch of spray paint in your mouth or your lungs. Going to the doctor. I don't feel very well. Why is like the inside of your lungs green? Fluorescent green. What's happening here? I don't know. I woke up like this.
That we would never be separated. We're a couple. We're in the system together, and we have a baby that we're, and we have services together. Even the people here promised we would never be separated. But if we are, like, is that not just putting us in a more vulnerable position to be sexually assaulted? Both of us? It's just so scary out here, you guys. I've never gone through anything like this. To give you guys a little backstory, a little background.
Has this not been a backstory this whole time? We might have to take the smoke break before this ends. How far? Are we? My God, we still have 22 minutes of this one. We'll give it a couple more minutes. I'm going to pop over to a smoke break. It'll only be like a couple minutes, but I need to,
I grew up in the Western burbs, like kind of wealthier, like upper middle class. When I was 14 years old, my mother abandoned me in a third world country. She said she was saving my life. I had never committed a crime. I had no criminal record at all, but I was being targeted through my school and my
I like how she's like, the stories are always changing. I didn't do anything wrong. But then, like, in Love After Lockup, she was like, I was sticking up for my mom because my stepdad was being evil. And then, like, in another story, it's like, because she was smoking a cigarette. And then in another story, it's because she's doing the rainbow parties. You know, it's always something different with Heather. I actually seen someone comment saying that she didn't, like, Love After Lockup didn't even get into the Tranquility Bay thing. They did get into it. I'll find the clip. I'll record it from the crazy site, that the only site that I can watch Love After Lockup on. And I'll show you guys. But I was like, well, I mean, like, if they put it in, it must have been it. I remember seeing the headlines and everything. I don't remember who commented that, but I forgot about that till just a second.
My like school district as one of the kids that needed like rainbows.
Jamaica. She says that Jamaica is the third world. Is Jamaica a third world country? I don't even know.
Which is like a counseling program where kids who have divorced parents are referred to see a counselor in a group. And then from there, they're referred to psychologists. And they were like trying to prescribe us all this stuff. And my mom didn't know what to do. And she sent me to this place in Jamaica it's called Tranquility Bay. You guys could Google it. It's a WWASP school. So a lot of craziness went down there. I saw I saw them snap a boy's arm, like if it was a twig, snap his arm. A girl killed herself right before I got there. She jumped over the balcony and killed herself. And they were installing metal bars on like all of the railings of all of the elevated hallways, because the school building was outside. You would go from door to door. You had to go outside to go from each school building. It was just a really scary place, and I didn't know I was going. And it was advertised as like a beach volleyball paradise for children who had an attitude. And my mom thought that it was like this beautiful place. She thought she was sending me to like, you know, paradise, and it was not that. We had to wash our clothes in a bucket, and it was like military.
I don't know. They say Jamaica is a developing country, and I was like, what's the difference between a developing country and a third world country? It's not really giving me a defining thing. It's just like a developing country is like making strides to be better, and I think a third world country is just kind of like, here we are, guys. I'm not sure. It's not a place I would want to live at. I'll say that.
Style, like your hair had to be in a neat, tidy bun at the back of your head. If you had any hair hanging down in your face, you got written up for a violation of dress code. If you got 3 violations of dress code, you went to
Since now, Naked and Laughing, like King Cobra's girlfriend?
Something called observation placement, where you had to lay on your face in the cement with no yoga mat, no nothing. If you were lucky, you got a towel and you had a water bottle, and that's it for hours, sometimes days at a time.
Such an interesting, diverse chat. I love it.
And so that was when I was 14. When I came home, I had no trust for.
Yeah, Jessica is something else. Who do you think is? I don't know if anyone else knows who Jessica is, but who do you think is worse, Jessica or fucking John?
Anyone. I was pretty fucked up when I came home. Trust issues would be understatement of the year. I trusted no one. Or nothing. And I just spent like the next few years trying to finish up school. And I was on my own after that. I was in various group homes and, various, just homes for like runaway kids. And I always just wanted
Jeff is pretty bad too, yeah.
to go home to my mom, but I couldn't. For whatever reason, I couldn't. I aged out of the programs at 17 years old. I was 17 and a half when I got my own apartment.
Josh.
I had 2 roommates. I worked at Quiznos Subs. I started college before my 18th birthday at College of DuPage. Finished high school early, like 17 years old. I finished high school. I want to say it was January of 2005, maybe, or 4. 4, I think. Started college right away. Was very, very lonely. Was craving like family, like the family dynamic that I had grown up with. Had nothing. You guys I had nothing. Like nobody was giving me money. Nobody was helping me. I was on my own with nothing. And something that I find very interesting as well is that when you are raised a certain way from love, as I commonly refer to it, when you're raised from love, and then all of a sudden love is like cut off, it is awful. it is awful. It is very difficult to find your way after that, to find your footing after that. When I'm not trying to compare traumas and say that a kid who never
Sounds like you're kind of a little bit trying to compare traumas.
had love is better off than a kid who had it and then lost it. But for me, going from this
That sounds scary, Diva Kitty. Is it scary?
stable, loving environment, it gave to nothing, to just being out there on my own. Not only did it give me these tremendous trust issues, it gave me abandonment issues to boot.
You hear that flute? I don't know how you play a flute. Like this, like that. I used to play flute one time.
You know, it made me question everything about myself. What is wrong? Why doesn't my mother love me? Why doesn't my father love me? And then from there, it was like, well, I know my father loves me so much and he would help me if he could. Why is God making it so that my father also struggles so that he can't help me? I know he would if he could. Then once he was in a position to be able to, I couldn't, you know? So it's opened up a whole bunch of pain going through this situation over the last 4 years, this homelessness. You know, it has opened up a whole bunch of trauma that I've already closed the door through. I've already moved on past, because you know what happens is,
that's why we talk about it every single day.
We tend to build the lives that we needed. And that's what I did. And that's the kind of mother I was. I was all up in my kids' shit because I didn't feel like that with my mom. With my mom, I felt like the only time she was in my shit was to come down on me, you know, or be strict with me. And I love my mother. You know, don't get me wrong. I love my mother. I still to this day want more of a relationship with my mother than I have, but as I have my entire life. But for me and my kids, I made them my best friends and also my children, you know, so I wanted the tea from school. I wanted to listen in a way that was non-judgmental. I'm never going to be that mom that's like, sure, invite your friends over and get drunk. No, not me. Not me. My kids have a healthy fear, you know, to share things with me, but they know they can at the end of the day. You know, they know that they can. And I worked really hard for that relationship with them because that was what I needed.
Yeah, I think this is the last video of this top. I think it's not a very flattering one. I think isn't this the one that you guys were like, this is the worst top ever, and I was like, it's like, it's not great, but it's not like the worst top, I guess. But no, she goes back to, I mean, the red moo thing. Is that any better? Honestly, what's better, the red moo thing or this? I'll do a poll.
But what a fucked up turn of events when I was abandoned in a third world country at 14 years old. And then, you know, who comes home? They do the reality show. And my daughter is 14 years old, entering high school, and has to go stay with her father. And I have been going through this her entire high school career. I will never forgive myself. There's nothing. I know that 99% of this has nothing to do with me. I know that. And I truly know that. I know that I've done above and beyond what I could, contacting law enforcement, following the laws, following the rules, doing what I was supposed to, being extorted by a cop and still doing what I could. David Shepard, shout out to David Shepard for Republican Party candidate. Yes, you did extort.
You should know what year you graduated, because it'd be like that class of whatever, right? If Heather's 37, right, she would be, what, 3 years older than me? She should be like the fucking class of 07. Or wait, no, it'd be backwards. It'd be like the class of 01. Should be 01. 06? No, it's not 06. It's 01. That's not right. High school? Like high school, she should have graduated. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm a liar. She should have graduated in like, I don't know why I thought, I don't know my own age. I don't know when I graduated.
Extort me, you know, hurt feelings. But there's just has been no answers. There's been no answers. There's been no acknowledgement. There's been no.
Yeah, I think it should be. It should be 05, yeah.
Nothing. There's been nothing. There's been no restitution. There's been no apology. Like nothing, you guys, nothing. And When someone tells you you're going to do this, and if you don't do this, I'm going to take away your child, or you're going to do this, or if you don't do this, it's going to end up in some sort of bodily harm against you or the people you love, well, then you're going to do whatever they say you have to do, and that's called extortion. So all that's been reported to the law, and I've written about it in my book, and I truly feel like that's probably a big part of the reason why they don't want the book to publish. So if there's anyone who wants to help me publish, please, please, find me, help me publish. I carry this book around with me. I've carried it. You guys don't even know what this book looks like. There's paragraphs missing because they've been weather damaged or burned or scrumpled up or rained on or snowed.
Scrumpled. I never heard that. Scrumpled up.
On, but I have them. I have them nonetheless.
Here are all her manifestos. I wonder if she still has like pieces of the tent she wrote on.
I have all of them. What else can I tell you guys about? I feel like having a banana muffin.
Yeah, you deserve it. This has been a long-winded fucking nonsense thing. I like this name. Ice Cube and my iced tea.
See, my breast milk is in here. And then I have...
What's the bathing breast milk? I guess the bathing one is the refrigerated one, and the kid one is the frozen stuff.
One day that I forgot to bring for my son last week. Because that's all that fits. Is one day in that freezer. And then this is the breast milk
that's my favorite. Like, out of all the words Heather says or makes up, I thought she made up Ear Hustle. But no, Scrumpled is my favorite one so far.
I don't bring. I can't bring the breast milk from Fridays or Saturdays because you're only allowed to keep the breast milk in the fridge for 4 days. And I don't have a large freezer. So it's just confusing and it's exhausting. And you just keep wondering to yourself, what the hell's going on here? And when will it be back to normal life, you know?
Yeah, the tent. Normal life. When will it be back to normal life? All right. I'm going to take a quick smoke break because we're 2 hours in and I've just been sitting here. What do you guys want to listen to for smoke break? You guys want to listen to Spice Girls and Fred Durst? Hopefully it doesn't get copyrighted. Nah. See, I don't want the live chat to get gone. Oh, here, we'll do Cobra. Hopefully not too many people run away from Cobra. It's the best song ever though. And if you don't like it, just chill for like a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. It'll be good, trust me. You'll love this song. It's the best song ever.
Me tomaré licor para el dolor y las heridas. Hoy en esta cantina me quedaré escuchando JJ y a Sabina. Taking shots of tequila at the Culver's Cantina. Quench your thirst for adventure at the Culver's Cantina. Sipping with Satan at the Culver's Cantina. The tastiest drink combos you've ever seen. Sipping at the Culver's Cantina. At the Culver's Cantina. Looking for a woman to touch your wiener, and she's looking for a man too. Toss up tequila at the Cobra's Cantina. Tastiest drink combos you ever seen. At the Cobra's Cantina. Thirstiest people you've ever seen. Enjoy your liquor and booze and cut loose. At the Cobra's Cantina. Thirsty quenching the best drink combos you've ever seen. At the Cobra's Cantina. Drink some beer and cut
cut loose of your fear at the Cobra's Cantina and relax with the Cobra's Cantina. Caressing your glass, looking for a piece of ass at the Cobra's Cantina. Forget about your troubles at the Cobra's Cantina. At the Cobra's Cantina. Prettiest cocktail waitresses you've ever seen. At the Cobra's Cantina. Forget about your troubles at the Cobra's Cantina. Taking shots of tequila at the Cobra's Cantina. The tastiest drinks you've ever seen at the Cobra's Cantina. For drinking at the Cobra's Cantina. Leaning on a wall at the Cobra's Cantina. Drinking shots of whiskey and tequila at the Cobra's Cantina. Tastiest drink.
All right. Yeah, people do not like Cobra Cantina. They're like, fuck this. That's King Cobra. He's a guy who loves his songs and his music. Why is my thing not focusing? Should be good. All right, let's jump back in here, guys. Let's jump. Cobra, King Cobra. Tastiest drink combos you've ever seen. Song was crazy. A muffin.
So yeah.
If you were to jump on Daisy at any time, it'd be now, because like you remember, I don't know if you're a Cobra fan, but Cobra just got over a dry spell of content because he got evicted and everything. Daisy's in jail right now. So if any time to catch up on her stuff, it'd be now, because I do not know if we're going to see her again.
I don't want to cry, anymore, but I'm so sad and I'm so scared. And everyone's like, well, just be happy. And I'm like, I'm trying. I don't want to go to another place. I want to go home. I want my home back. I want to be with my babies. So.
I mean, if you like Heather, I think you'll like Daisy. It's not like James Soroka is. Well, I guess Daisy and James are in jail. This is the only gal we got out of jail right now. Imagine if Heather went to jail this week. I'd be like, maybe it's a sign.
Hopefully these caseworkers come through. Hopefully, they make good on their word and they put us in a townhome or an apartment that's large enough for my family and I can get back to it.
So the stream for Daisy tomorrow depends. It could be as early as 1 p.m. Eastern, or depending on how things go, it'd be either 1 p.m., 4 p.m. I'd say sometime between 1 and 4 p.m. That's what I'm going to estimate, because we will still have to wrap up Heather. I know we're not going to get through all of Heather, so like we'll do Heather at like the normal like 9-ish time.
You have no idea how bad I just want to cook. Like, what was on my menu? What was on my menu when I, like 4 years ago, when life was normal? Okay, I'll tell you. Mini turkey meatloafs. I mean,
What?
Mini turkey meatloafs in a cupcake pan, like the size of a meatball. And then I would put ground turkey, 4 or 5 eggs so that they'd be high in protein.
This is her accomplishments?
Because I'm always high protein, lean meats, etc. and so forth. mix it all up, eggs, ground
I would have put this on the bingo card. It's just I've never heard of mini turkey meatloaves or scrumpled, scrumpled and mini turkey meatloaves.
turkey, salt, pepper, Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of ketchup. Put it in the shape of a meatball, a big one. Put it in a cupcake pan, bake it. Bring it out, put a little red sauce on top. Serve it with some green beans, salad, and maybe like some red potatoes, roasted red potatoes or mashed potatoes. That was one of my go-tos. Crock pot chili, turkey or ground sirloin, either way. Another one of my go-tos. If you guys are familiar with the Banza brand of protein, it's chickpea pasta. And so it's high protein. It's like 20 or something like that grams of protein per serving. So I would make that the either the shells or the cavatappies, and then that would be like 2 or 3 days worth of meals with the turkey chili or the sirloin chili on top of the banza. And then I was a huge fan of cauliflower pizza. I would always cook.
Did you say cauliflower instead of cauliflower?
That like once a week. Hot dogs with shells and cheese or regular mac and cheese and green beans. My kids love green beans. Pizza. Every time we would have pizza, we would always grab a Little Caesars if I was like, not doing well that week. Like if I didn't have a lot of extra money or if I had rent to pay or something, I would go get a Little Caesars. If not, we would order probably from Cacharo's. That's my neighborhood pizzeria when you're not like low on cash. And every single time I would serve pizza for dinner, I would make a big, huge salad with it. Huge salad with pizza. Burgers, Bubba burgers, you guys. Delicious.
Well, to be fair, when I saw the GoFundMe, I didn't see anything about lawyer fees either. He just said we were imprisoned. Give me money. But that's good to know. Thank you, Gumby.
Sweet onion flavor. Fire. I love those. What else? Sweet potatoes. I would make them into sweet potato fries. Breakfast would be avocado toast and tomato toast with turkey bacon, or breakfast potatoes. You know those red potatoes, thinly sliced, and then fry it up and then scramble eggs and mix.
Is this weird that she's just like reminiscing on past food she's made in her life while eating a banana muffin? Is this what she wishes she was eating? I don't know. Look at the DVD cases of the kids.
It all together, and I would cook it like that in a big, huge casserole dish, and I would have it for like 3 days. That I just had to throw it in the microwave. What else? Mariano's. Shout out to Mariano's. My favorite grocery store in the city of Chicago. Mariano's grills your meat for free. Legit. You go there, you tell them what you want. I would get like 5 pounds of steak and like 5 pounds of chicken. And then I would ask them to butterfly cut it and then take it over to the grill, have them grill it up while I would do the rest of my grocery shopping. And then.
What is this? Hold up. What is this? What is this thing that I don't think she's meaning to show us this, but I don't. What is it? It's not. Is that cigarettes? Wait. No, I think it's like a candy bar.
And then, wait, what did I say? I was verifying.
Oh yeah, or a juice box. That's probably what it is. A coconut water box.
Oh yeah, chicken and steak. Have them grill it up at the grill. Go do the rest of your grocery shopping. It's free. They grill it for free. By the time you're done with your grocery,
I miss Capri Sun. It's.
By the time you're done with your
It was lagging.
grocery shop.
Oh, it's lagging again. Her eyes, like the sideway eyes. You know the sideway eyes. Sideway eyes. Starting to look like Mandy. Who's Mandy? I'm not familiar with them. Is there someone cool? 20 is 20 is. Heather is 20 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. Mama mia. There we go. No, okay. She's just looking at furries. So people think it was me, but I wasn't. I never knew about any guns. I don't know. We might get to talk to John, maybe. So I'm gonna ask him some questions. So maybe we can get some answers. That's usually the objective when I ask questions, is to get answers. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Tomorrow should be super fancy.
Fat-free frozen yogurt cones. The vanilla cones, they would be so clutch with 3 kids. Going to somewhere like, what's that place called that rolls your ice cream?
Marble Slab?
Stone Cold. That place was too much for me, you guys. Like, literally, we took the kids to that frozen yogurt place that has all the toppings, the self-serve toppings. It was like $60 for me.
Mandy and Maurice. Was that the one where he had the sisters that wanted to beat her up? Is that the one? Or is there a different one? I'll have to ask Megan. Me and Megan watched that show. So, like, I know of a few. I don't remember any of their names. If you showed me pictures of them, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. I only know Heather and Dylan's names. Okay. I'm really trying to remember, like, one other person's name. And I can't. I guess that's kind of sad.
You know who? And the 3 kids. Now I have Weston, too. There's no way we're ever going there again unless if I'm rich, you know? So McDonald's is super clutch for ice cream cones or sundaes, and it's delicious. The ice cream is delicious. But I wasn't really like one of those moms that did a lot of fast food. I would always cook. I would always cook chuletas with arroz con gandules. If it was gonna be fast food, it would be something like borinquen or like, you know, something like a Cocharo's pasta or like Chinese food, like something with substance. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'll just look up Mandy Love After Lockup, see what we're working with here.
And I miss that. Like, I'm tired of being moved around to these spots where I have to eat, you know, lo que sea, whatever they say. I want to eat from my kitchen. I want to cook. I want to eat from love and deliciousness. I want to cook for me. I want to cook for Xavier. I want to cook for the kids. So pray for me, you guys. Please pray. Please pray. Pray and pray and pray. If you want to donate, if you want to be a sponsor, please go in the DM and write down, I would like to help you and your situation. That's the only messages that I will ever respond to because I have no time for arguing. None. I mean, I obviously am a nice person. Like, so if you say something like, oh my gosh, blah, 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 what do you think about this? And it's like something that's not mean, then I answer, you know? But if it's just like someone being rude, I just don't even have time. If you want to donate or you want to be a sponsor, please let me know. Please. I have Zelle, I have Cash App, I have PayPal, I have Gmail, GPay, I have...
The fuck is GPay? Is that like Google Pay? I didn't even know Google had a pay thing. Let me see. Is this live from today? Nah, it's from earlier this week. I think we're gonna get into like the live either from yesterday or the day before after this one. I'm just looking at Mandy. I can see Jessica and Maurice, but I don't see no Mandy and Maurice. I do remember Jessica and I do remember Maurice now that I see them, but I don't know Mandy.
Yeah, that's what I have. So, and I also have TikTok where you can buy me tons of flowers and hearts with clouds on them or hands or roses or whatever the gifts are. I love those and thank you for sending them. But yeah, I'm trying to be positive. I think that I'm doing a good job. I think that
it's, you know what's even weirder though, Jill, is like this orange part of the room is like just one little section. She has like all the other parts of the room are white. She could go to any other part, but she just like, I think she likes the orange. It's orange on orange. You know, she's got orange hair. I think she likes the orange. She uses filters that usually make her more red, like more like blushed out. But really her hair, There's like a crazy person that goes and stalks Heather in real life and will take like pictures on the street. And like when she takes those pictures, her hair looks like blonde. So yeah, I think she likes the orange.
Overall, I feel like in my life, I have been putting in work with regards to the bad karma side. Like, not bad karma, like I deserve something bad, because I don't. I truly don't. But I'd rather be right now at this.
I hope so. I miss sex. You know? Imagine if Heather went to jail and we just got like the Xavier show and another universe that happened.
Time looking at the situation like, well, all the bad things that have happened to me, you know what they mean? They mean that there's going to be an equal and opposite coming soon, you know? That all of the struggle, all of the pain, all of the hurt, all of the heartache, all of the is going to come back in reverse as something positive and beautiful and amazing. And, you know, my kids will be there and life will be fantastic again like it once was, you know. And my biggest problem will be, what am I going to cook for dinner tonight? God, I was so spoiled that was my biggest problem at some time, you guys. That was my biggest problem.
Isn't that still a problem? Like, what are you going to eat for dinner each night? I guess not anymore because, like, she has the funding. Like, they feed her, I think, every day at this place. And then, like, she has money specifically for food, like food stamps or the EBT card or whatever. So maybe I guess that's not an issue anymore. But it still was, like, not that long ago. She'd be like, the sponsors used to feed me every single day and so much food that I couldn't even finish it. And now today they're not giving me any money and I'm pregnant. And she was, remember she was freaking out about that. But I guess we don't need to worry about that anymore.
Problem. And while it was my biggest problem, I still felt like, oh my God, this is so hard. Like, I do not even know what the hell. Once a year, go someplace you've never been before, Dalai Lama. I don't know if I believe in these little quotes on the TV. You guys know that channel Music Choice? It's in like a lot of hotels and stuff.
Oh, like where you're, I don't know, Music Choice. Is that what we're listening to? Music Choice?
Have that, and there's like a landscape, like this red rock, and then like a quote. Some of them sound so simulated, like they just say that someone famous said them just to sound good. Like, are there even that many quotes? Like, who's been walking?
Heather, what are you talking? Is there even that many quotes? If it's words on a screen, somebody had to think it up and type it. So technically it'd be a quote from them. What do you mean? Think about how many words each human being has said, especially the famous people and that have been recorded. Of course, why would they be making up quotes? She's such an odd person, Heather.
Walking around before the times of cell phones, like writing down what people say, like, oh.
Yeah. You know how the Bible got written and stuff? What the fuck? What is this? This is such an odd complaint.
She said this and it was him. And then like, how does it...
Fucking Music Choice over here, making up quotes. I don't even believe them.
Before we had content, how did like people's quotes get saved as their quotes, you know?
You know, all your like scribblings and manifest and craziness that you have written down everywhere that's been rained on and all that stuff that you were going on about, like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, like that. I wrote on the walls, wrote on the tent. That's how people wrote shit down before cell phones. Why is this so like baffling to her?
And yeah, that's one of my many ponderances.
Ponderances. See, this is the content I'm here for, guys. Yeah, smartphones invented quotes. Jesus, jumping. This is the Frida filter, I'm pretty sure.
Who is it? Okay.
It's Xavier. Hey, he saved us from like, this is Heather getting philosophical on us. How did they even write quotes down before cell phones?
Let's go. It's Xavier. Do you want to say hi to TikTok? Okay, hold on.
Hold on. Was that a sword?
Okay, I have to go. It's Xavier. Do you want to say hi to TikTok?
No, of course it's not a sword. It's is that a lamp that has been deconstructed? What is this? What are we looking at here? Do you guys know what this is?
Okay, hold on.
Come on, please. Don't have the phone in my face, though. Say hi
Why? I want to see Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia, Xavier.
once.
Hey, Xavier. You don't have eyebrows anymore. That's kind of scary. What? Oh, he's making this face. I'm Xavier. He doesn't have eyebrows, so it's like, I'm Xavier. I liked him better with eyebrows.
Oh.
Okay.
Rest your head.
Okay, thank you. Is it diet?
Oh, yeah. See, Joe, look. So, like, it's only this one part here that has the orange, and then all the rest of the room is white. So, like, it's just like, she's like, I'm gonna be orange.
Babe. All right, you guys. Well, Xavier just got back with food, so I'm going to jump off the internet and eat for a little bit. As I said before, if you could please pray for me, send me calm vibes, send me vibes of like happiness and safety and protection and good things and unity with my family and my children and vindication and
Is that what we call it? An accent wall? I've never heard of such a thing, but now I'm learning. See? I learn with you guys here today and many other days.
exoneration and all of that. And that would be great. And I appreciate you. And if you'd like to send a gift, that's always welcome as well. Thank you.
All right, let's see. Paradise. Nice. Okay, so we got. Okay, so these are the stories that lead up to either the live that was yesterday or the day before. This is where she starts to get extra crazy. So I'm told. I think this might be the one about battering ram, and the jet airplanes and all that other nonsense. So we'll see how far we get. It's before midnight. I need to be up before 1 p.m. tomorrow. I think we can do it. I think we can. We'll see how far we get. We'll see. Yes, let's do it.
Did you guys see that last post? There are 2 books that they're on
Gary V's books.
Sale now for pre-sale. I think that this is such a phenomenal idea. This is kind of a perfect example of what is your impact and just different ways that you can make sure that you have a remarkable impact, a positive impact, a beneficial impact on others. This is a book that is created by, written by, illustrated by, I'm not sure. I think he might just be the author, Gary Vaynerchuk. And it has 2 main characters or maybe more, but it's sharing perspective. It tells the book from the perspective of one.
2 main characters or maybe more, but like, yeah, usually you need at least 2 characters in a story.
With the main characters, and then you flip the book over and it tells the same story from the perspective of another character. I think that is so
Heather would love that. Telling the same story in different ways. This is right up Heather's alley.
such a good idea. I'm so proud of him. I am so eager to read these books. You guys check them out.
So the books are the middle, the flip book. Maybe I should buy one of this just to see what it's like. Remember,
My breast pump.
Because they would not let her poo? Remember, she was impacted because they wouldn't let her poo? Oh, yeah, you remember that. Like, she was angry about that in the tent.
Alarm goes off approximately 3 times from the time it.
Unless this is another bowel movement I'm not familiar with. So this caption, it says, mother of 4 children displaced from the apartment in 2020. The 3 big kids went to stay with their father, even though I have legal custody. And I got pregnant with Weston, gave birth on February 19th, 2024. We have been in the shelter ever since, waiting for housing, apartment, or townhome. And I won't work because I'm Heather Gillespie. And if what I'm said is to be true, or to be believed, then there's no jobs in Chicago at all. So I should probably just get the hell out of there.
Time I go to sleep to the time I get ready for the day. So I'm pretty much up pumping for about 30, 40 minutes, pumping and then washing the bottles.
I put the bottles in my refrigerator here. I'm sorry, the milk in my refrigerator here. And then today, all of this milk goes with us to Weston. And then I also have 1 day of frozen milk in here. This milk is milk that I pump on the weekend that I cannot bring because it's only 4 days. It only has a shelf life in the fridge of 4 days before it has to be frozen.
So what do we do with this milk, Heather?
So I bathe in this. And when you if you think about like the biology of taking a warm bath, your pores are open. So it's almost like ingesting. So all of that immunity and the
You're sounding like me now, Heather, because I'm like, I don't drink water. I just like absorb water into my body when I shower. And then people say I'm crazy. And maybe I am crazy because this doesn't even make sense, Heather. Maybe my thing does make sense a little bit because like your body will retain water, but not what, breast milk? There can't be any science to this. We'll look it up.
antibodies that I'm giving to my baby, they're also good for me. So a milk bath on the weekend. I've never stopped applying for work. I have never stopped looking for other opportunities to not be dependent on the system. I'm not typically, just someone who gives up. I always work really, really hard to try to accomplish my goals. I have done numerous successful entrepreneurial challenges and been profitable in them, direct to consumer sales and online sales and marketing and things of that nature. We were told that our shelter might be moving us out to another shelter. We don't know. It's Xavier and I. And we are only able to see our son.
It says hold on. I got to show you guys this because like, what? This doesn't make any sense. It says, whoopsies. There's a primary milk bath benefit for your baby. Breast milk is a great moisturizer. The fatty acid. So it's saying like you should bathe your baby in breast milk, which to me sounds, I've never heard of that before, ever. So that's what Google says. Because I just Googled what happens when you bathe in breast milk. It's just weird. It's just weird. It sounds like it's like some kind of weird fucking kink thing. Because there's no way that's benefiting her that much for it to be worth it. Like, you know what I mean? Weird, Heather.
Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for 2 hours a day when I breastfeed him. And we have
sounds like a fear factor stunt. Yeah.
Court for that in August because we were homeless at the time that I gave birth. I know so many women who have been homeless just from being in these situations. Their babies were not taken. They were offered assistance prior. So God knows I searched for it. God willing, this will be the end of the struggle.
So this is just her being like, look at all the times I reached out to 311 and they just texted me back, you're signed up to be accepting messages from 311, and that's it. It's like, that doesn't mean anything. We gone over that before a bunch of times here. Breast milk is really good for baby skin, especially for diaper rash. But weird. Okay. The baby in it. ChatGPT is left out. Did she screenshot something? Did I screenshot something? Did I record this? I don't even fucking know. Let me just skip ahead here.
Bad happened that you.
Hold up. Whatever this is.
So during this time of homelessness, everything bad happened that you can think of. We were robbed. I was sexually assaulted.
Okay, so yeah, this is from July 3rd. So this was 2 days ago. And this is like what is it? I want to say table of contents. This is like the build up to the crazy stream she's about to do. I don't know if we'll get all the way through it, but we'll get like into
My head was stomped on while I was pregnant with Weston. Literally, some guy ripped the wall off of the tent and started stomping on me. I was pregnant with my son, and I was going to the police for help, the hospitals for help, even strangers, and no one came through. No one helped us. Weston was born February 19th. 2024, and he was taken into protected custody because I was being accused of neglect for not being able to provide him a home. I don't understand the legal terms behind this, and I'm still looking for an attorney. I have a standby attorney, but have been mostly representing myself. Nothing about this seems legal. I know for a fact that there are programs there. I have the proof that we requested the assistance. Why didn't we receive the assistance that everyone else in this country deserves and gets?
That's a good question, Dabney. So she said Xavier a bunch of times, and she's also said that there was like a group of people that Xavier just let this happen to her. So like I don't know, I call cap on that, but especially because like she's like I need to be around Xavier. It's the only person who protects me. It's like, but apparently he let all this stuff happen to you.
So every single time we would call 311, and I called, the number of times I called is
It's the I forgot to end the poll on that. This is, would we even call this an outfit? This is like Heather getting ready for the day. Getting ready to complain all day.
I mean,
We need 50 jet planes.
probably close to 100 on my phone, Xavier's phone, old phones. And we finally were told about 4 months before Weston was born that when the baby was born, we would be accepted to family housing and offered assistance at that time. And that's exactly what happened. However, we've been fighting in court for Weston back ever since. I'm not allowed to discuss the details, which makes it very difficult to do any fundraising or ask for any assistance for, a lawyer or anyone who can help. But we visit him 3 times a week. We were told last week.
I like how she's like, I'm not supposed to talk about anything regarding the court case. Let's talk about the court case now, guys.
That we would possibly be having to move to another shelter because this shelter was closing down. We were then told that this shelter is not closing down, that it has a summer program. So we don't know if our bed is safe here or if they're going to move us somewhere else. We have no idea.
What is she doing? She's just like walking back and forth, like throwing around like sheets and stuff. It's like, are we getting ready? We're just complaining. And this outfit.
The worst part of it all, you guys, is that all of the other people.
And these are still okay, this is the stories. Okay, so I guess she was making the bed. We're still, get dressed, woman.
With the exception of maybe like a small handful who were here when we got here, they've all been placed in their apartments. We were promised that this was our last shelter until we moved into our own apartment or townhome. That's what we were told by the emergency shelter. That's what we were told by this shelter. Since that time, representatives from the city, representatives who are not from the city, and random people.
Do you think she's high? Do you think she's high here? I'm gonna do a poll. I feel like when she's high, she has like all this energy and she gets like anxious and she needs to just like spit stuff out because like she's like doing stuff and she's not even dressed and she's doing all this. So it feels like there's a lot of excess energy she needs to burn off. I don't know. I think they're on their way to church, which is the Narcotics Anonymous meeting, which would be fucking ironic. Maybe she's just nervous about that. If she's actually high for the Narcotics Anonymous meeting, that's something.
Well, I guess they would be investors. I really don't know who they are. They've all said different things. Some of them have referred to this as a temporary shelter. It's not. Some of them have referred to this as a winter bed program. It's not. Some of this have referred to this as a transitional housing. It's not. So I have the paperwork they gave us. This was supposed to be our 6-month shelter while we awaited permanent housing, apartment or a townhome. So you guys, please pray for us because we're nervous. Now, this is literally the first period since my undescribable, unlawful homelessness. And I call it unlawful because I was within my legal rights living in my own apartment with my children when I was thrown out. I went to the court.
What is this thing? I don't know. There's a letter of recommendation. I gotta zoom in. I can't zoom in. I gotta like actually like what the fuck? Oh, it's just her diagnoses. So she's like, I was diagnosed with ADD and something. Maybe this is the person not crazy.
The court for protection. I went for an EOP and I wasn't denied. I was just told he already asked for one, and I was thrown into the street. My children and I should be together in my home as I've been my entire life. My baby should not be in the system being held a political hostage. This is absolutely ridiculous. And in addition to that, my doctor wrote this note. I took his name off, but he signed it. He wrote his name, his contact information to advocate for me and to let them know there is nothing wrong with me, that I have been through the absolute most. And even through all of the trauma, I've remained a fantastic mother, a loving mother, and a contributing member of society.
How have you been a contributing member of society, Heather? In what way, shape, or form? Like literally, like you've been a drain on society and public resources for over a year. Like you're literally draining public resources right now. Because like, even though Heather is crazy, I still think she's capable of like sorting recycling in a factory or something. You know, like she can do manual labor. She can even chat the fucking person's ear off beside her about all this crap. She's not like lost limbs or anything like that. I don't think she has a learning disability. I think she's just like a narcissist, basically, who has to have things her way or else she gets crazy. Thank God, like this hotel was good enough for her. She wouldn't even be in this hotel.
I pray to God that we do not get moved again until it's to go to our own apartment. You guys, please pray for my family. Okay, so I got this outfit for Weston. I try to bring him a new outfit every week or every other week. And when they took him, understand that they took all the clothes I bought for him because I bought him like a 70-piece outfit from Amazon.
A 70-piece outfit? Jesus, jumping.
Okay, so this is navy blue, and it has this little green dino on it. And tomorrow's 4th of July. So I'm like, I'm going to bring him this today, this little shorts outfit. But should I match it with the socks that have navy blue at the end so it's perfect, or the lime green that match the little dino part, or the red so that it's red, white, and blue? I think the lime green, you guys. What are you thinking? What do you think?
Should start a campaign. Heather already has your money. Like, do you pay taxes? It's gone to Heather already. You don't need to donate to her. What's this? You don't realize how fast time goes until you watch what you created grow, but you haven't because Dylan's dick, you know? Oh, that pesky Dylan's dick.
All right, so I'm now doing a live.
Okay, so this is the crazy live. This is 19 minutes of crazy. And all of that was like the prelude, and then she does a TikTok live. So we might be able to get through the 19-minute one, and then we'll probably cap it there and then finish up everything tomorrow. But she's still in the towel suit.
To describe the conditions of homelessness. I want to be clear. If there was a way for us to not be homeless, we would have taken it. I was not one of these people who choose to be, high or getting into parties or doing any of that as opposed to having housing. I have followed curfew here, and everywhere we've been, I pretty much don't even go outside unless it's to see any one of my children for some reason, or go and buy supplies like nursing bags.
What about church?
Or, something that I need to feed my child or myself, or shampoo or conditioner, or to go to a visit. So while we were homeless, it's been since 2024, 4 years now. Okay. And during that time, I have lived in the backseat of my vehicle, a Cadillac CTS. I have been without a housing. So I've had to literally stay awake without any sort of medication, without any sort of drug use, going off of energy drinks, and that's it for, a day or two, and sacrifice sleep, finally find a place that we think is safe to sleep and fall asleep just to be moved around by the police, have our tent and our belongings kicked or destroyed by.
I love the bee suit. That bee suit was something. I mean, like, I didn't know it was Weston's blanket, so I don't like that, but I think it was very chic. Is this the cow suit? Or is this what we're calling the cow suit now? This black and white ensemble that is not really any actual clothes. It's like a towel and a bra. Oh, Heather.
By the police, drug people who are jealous that we haven't been moved yet by the police, destroying our tent, and random strangers. I made no friends during this time. I specifically believe that the rule of 5 applies in all times. If I don't want to be like someone who is dedicating a lot of their time and energy to getting high or committing crimes, then I have to remove myself from environments where that type of activity and behavior is going on.
That's why you're with Xavier, right? Who does all of those things you just described.
So I specifically isolated myself and Xavier away from these like camps of people getting fucked up and high, and we stayed on our own. And it worked for the most part. I was assaulted.
Gee, they went to the yacht club. It's more bougie there. The homeless at the yacht club is more bougie than whoever Xavier was staying with before.
Once while I was asleep, 3:30 in the morning, a stranger came. Xavier was underneath the tarp outside of the tent. Xavier never once left me in the tent to sleep alone other than this night. That was the only night that he didn't sleep in the tent, and I don't know why. I still to this day have a lot of question about that night. Seems very curated, almost intentional. But this person came, stuck his arm in the little gap because the tent has 2 zippers. The padlock connects the
padlock that only works on Christmas. or Christmas Eve. Remember, she was like, the padlock doesn't work. And then, like, all of a sudden on Christmas, she's like, all right, well, we locked the tent up with the padlock. And now we're going magically. Christmas lock.
Zippers together. He stuck his arm in, grabbed the padlock, and ripped it off. The entire wall of the tent came off. I was screaming and crying, please, I'm in here alone. This is not your tent. This is not your tent. He said, fuck you, bitch, and started stomping on me for no reason. He stole nothing. He said nothing else. He communicated nothing, and he left. You stupid bitch is what he said, and stomped on my face. I went the next day to have an ultrasound. I used my body to protect my son. I went to the hospital, and they knew what was going on, that we were being literally denied housing, denied assistance, denied everything while I was pregnant. We have laws and constitutional rights in this country. A pregnant woman is not supposed to be forced to stay outdoors, yet I was. The hospital would not even allow me to.
Well, that's basically what put Letitia Collins away. Like, she was accusing all of these people of rape, and then they went after her. They're like, you can't do that. This is a false report. And then they put her in jail. So, like, the thing with Heather, though, is like, she's like, I don't know who did it. You're supposed to figure it out, police. Take this 3-week-old blanket and tell me what DNA came back. I'm not going to tell you what happened, though. I'm not going to answer questions. We're going to do it my way. And they're just like, that's not how this works. So I guess, like, since there isn't an actual person she's blaming other than Xavier, so Xavier, I guess, would have to be the one to be like, well. And she just complains on social media about it. She says she's filed reports, but I'm skeptical. I would love to see some of these reports if that's actually the case. But I'm going to press X to doubt on that one.
Me to sit in the waiting room of the ER. They literally told us, if you are not checked in as a patient, you need to get out. We had nowhere to go. We were literally manhandled and mistreated worse than animals are treated, okay? And this has been going on since 2020. We're in 2024 now. All of this began in my life. My kids, understand this, my kids have always lived with me my entire life, their entire life, since they were born. I was manhandled by law enforcement in 2015 to be used as a mole. I was told by Officer David Shepard,
she's gunning for you. Get Nick Albuquerque on the phone. Uh-oh.
That I needed to text him every day. He pulled me into his office on no criminal charges. I was driving in the car with my mother-in-law. He pulled up in a caravan because of the people he thought.
Was that on mercifulstorm.com? I read that she allegedly had his iPhone traced to the interior of the tent and he tracked it. Mamma mia.
I knew, who I didn't really know. I just knew of. And literally,
like she stole this guy's iPhone and he traced it to the tent, and that's why there was this supposed incident happen. That'd be something. I just assumed like this didn't happen at all. But if she stole someone's phone, then maybe that would give them incentive, especially if they were another homeless person or just like a really evil person.
Interrogated me over these people. I knew nothing about the activities they were involved in, which I guess were alleged fraud, alleged drug sales, alleged human trafficking, like a lot of scary shit, you guys. And I kept telling them, look, I'm a mom. I live in a basement apartment with my 3 children. I work in healthcare. I just got a job working bottle service a few weeks ago, and that's when I met these people. I have no idea what you are asking. I don't know how to respond to these questions. He literally told me, we will be back to steal your children if you don't text me every single day. That is what this officer told me. There was an internal affairs hearing where supposedly he lost his job, and the rest of this was all very heavily monitored by law enforcement. So how it gets to the point where I'm pregnant and outside in a tent, my vehicle was stolen from me, my clothes were stolen from me, my laptop stolen from me, my phone stolen from me, literally every single bit of my property was stolen from me. And every time I would get another job and buy.
Imagine if they had this kid with them, you know what I mean? It'd be like, why can't we go in the living room, Dad? And Xavier would be like, well, son, Mom's going on about all the bad things that's ever happened to her life again for social media. Why did she do that? I don't know. Sometimes we get like $30 and then we can go wrap your mom in tinfoil and do a photo shoot. It's like, it's a life. It's a living. Yeah.
Buy it all back, they would come steal it again. After Weston was born, I was guaranteed that we would never be outside again, that we were involved in the housing system, that we were already in the intake process, and that it would be 2 to 3 weeks in the
Yeah, with Xavier's bulletproof sperm.
emergency shelter, the temporary shelter, which we did, Shield of Hope. Shout out to Shield of Hope. They were awesome to us. We're very, very grateful for their assistance. They were very compassionate. Xavier was really, really afraid and having trouble, like, you know, transitioning back to being normal. Like if you have to urinate into a sawed off Coca-Cola bottle for a year, and you have to hold in your bowel movements because you can't poop outside and everything closes at night. So you wake up in the middle of the night, you have to go potty. Oh, well, sorry. You know, it was just awful. It was inhumane treatment. It was animalistic and it was inhumane. And these people were so kind to us and so just nice. You know, they were patient and they were nice. I didn't really have any trouble, you know, being normal again. Like for me, it was like this, you know, I'm back inside. I know how to act. I don't know how to act homeless. I do know how to act inside. I'm a mom, you know, I want to.
Yeah, but not Xavier. Why are you with Xavier? Other than that, he said, like, my brother works for the DA and we know everything and they have not solved anything yet and you don't have your kid. So like before this all happened, right? Like you didn't have a kid with this guy. The objective was to get your other fucking kids back and not be homeless. And since you've been with him, you've just been homeless and then had another kid that is now taken from you as well. Why are you still with him? Obviously, nothing he says is true. What are we holding on to here, Heather? Like if I'm supposed to believe this stupid story that I don't know how to act homeless, even though I've been homeless for like the past 2 years. And Xavier's the problem. I don't know. She's crazy.
I want to be with my kids. So we stayed there for 2 to 3 weeks, and then they transferred us to another shelter called Believe Shelter. And Believe Shelter was at 95th and Commonwealth on the south side of the farthest south side of Illinois that you could possibly get. Babe, we need to leave in 15. Okay. So literally the farthest south side that you could possibly get without being in Indiana at Believe Shelter. Shout out to the cook there. Shout out to the staff there. We didn't really meet anyone.
Shout out to Chris Farley and Def Leppard.
While we were in there, but the staff were kind of cool. Not as patient as Believe. You could tell they were like calloused and they'd seen a lot of shit. So they were not like holding our hand and babying us like they were at Shield of Hope. But the cook was awesome. She cooked really good food. The staff helped us with our needs, and we were very grateful. From there,
Xavier doesn't even know what planet he's on. He's not a reliable witness.
We were transferred to somewhere called Olive Branch, where they told us that we were not allowed unless we threw away all of our belongings, including everything I had purchased for my son.
Honestly, only stuff up until the 3rd. We're just at the 3rd of July. 3 hours into the street. Because Heather's just been like all fucking week here.
Stroller, car seat, our shoes, my novel that I've been working on for almost 6 years now. They wanted us to literally throw it away. I was so traumatized that I literally was like, whatever I have to do, just give me my baby back. Understand where I...
Baby back ribs. She had the sumo hair earlier. Kind of like, I remember I did a thumbnail with her kind of looking like fat bastard from Austin Powers. I forgot his name because, you know, she's ginger. She got the sumo bun on, but maybe that's kind of mean. But every time she says baby back, I think of that guy from Austin Powers.
Where I was at this point mentally. I had just given birth after being abused in a tent for a full year, February 14th, 2023, all the way to February 19th, 2024. I gave birth, got to spend 3 days with my son in my arms, and then all of a sudden, police and some stranger walk in my room and say, "We're taking your child from you." Okay.
Yeah, Xavier was doing handstands in the doorway when this happened, and they opened the door. He fell. And then they took the kid away. I added the inversions. Well, he was doing that, not when they came in. But I like to think that's how it happened.
Okay. Can you understand where a person would be after that? I had a psych clearance to make sure I was okay. And the psych said, no need for psych intervention. She's fine. After that, we were ordered to do additional psych clearances. They all said we were fine. In my mind, I'm just doing the next right thing to get my baby back.
I think, like, wouldn't it have worked more in your favor if you... These people are crazy. Like, they didn't realize what they're doing is wrong. If you pass the site clearances, it means that, like, you know what you did is wrong, and you chose to do it anyways because you're selfish and you thought this was your ticket into housing.
Not to mention, I have 3 older children who are now going into year 4 of having to temporarily live with family while they wait to see what the hell's going on with their mother. It's ridiculous. I don't understand how law enforcement has not taken a more active role in resolving these issues. I truly do not. During this time, I have done nothing illegal outside of maybe, and that's a big maybe because I was told it was sponsored and that someone was covered it, stealing a protein bar and an energy drink back in 2022.
That's what she did? Maybe we're long lost brothers, Ray. I don't know.
I have done nothing illegal. I have not worked in any illegal capacity. I have not been involved in anything illegal. I have.
Well, I'm gonna put it back just to see, like, if she said she was the one who stole the Powerade or whatever, or Xavier. I don't know who did.
Stealing a protein.
Right.
During this time, I have done nothing illegal outside of maybe, and that's a big maybe.
Why is it a big maybe? You either did or you didn't. You think you'd know if you stole something or not, right?
Because I was told it was sponsored and that someone was covered it. Stealing a protein bar.
Oh, okay.
And an energy drink back in 2022. I have done nothing illegal. I have not worked in any illegal capacity. I have not been involved in anything illegal. I have minded my own business, kept my head down, checked on my children every day, sent them groceries and food whenever possible. Xavier and I, to stay out of trouble, would walk 60 miles round trip to O'Hare and back, where my big...
I mean, a lot of these guys, like, do get, like, psych clearances. I think they need to accept help too, right? Because, like, to what Jesse Waters is saying, like, you know, because Daisy will get put into places, Heather will get put into places. I've seen Heather, like, filming people in hospitals where she's doing the evals, and they get put into, like, a separate room because you're not supposed to violate HIPAA. She's like, what are we doing in here? Blah, blah, blah. And then they let her go. So, I don't know. It's like a freedom thing, right? I don't know what we're supposed to do with people like this who won't accept help.
Kids live, so I could just give them a hug and drop them off some food and snacks and tell them everything is going to be okay. I've never missed a birthday. I've never missed a holiday. I've always found a way, always, for all 3 of my children, and now all 4 of my children. I was ready at Olive Branch to throw away all of my stuff because I didn't want them to be able to say, well, Heather was given an option, but she said no. You know, I didn't want that to be the case. So I was ready to throw away my stuff. Xavier literally got on his knees and said, babe, the devil is in this place. It is not safe. I don't trust it. You cannot stay here. And I said, forget you. If it's you or my son, I will suffer here to get my son back so that these people will help us. He said, my mom has the baby. You could see him tomorrow. I was so mad. I'm like, your mom has my baby? A woman I've never even...
See, this is where it gets juicy. So, like, I've seen a lot of people say that, like, Xavier sleeps on the floor. Did she say that Xavier sleeps on the floor? Because sometimes I miss things because I'm reading chat. I do know that there was that one time that she said that she got her head stomped on, that she was referencing earlier, that Xavier was sleeping on the floor outside of the tent for whatever reason. And she's like, I'm suspicious of that too. But I mean, like, I would imagine she's the one telling him to sleep on the floor because... unless Xavier is gay. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, let me just put this back in case anyone was kind of like tuning her out because of the, you know, she goes, blah, 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 blah. This is important because, like, she's describing how she found out that Xavier's mom has her baby.
My son back so that these people will help us. He said, my mom has the baby. You could see him tomorrow. I was so mad. I'm like, your mom has my baby? A woman I've never even met before who showed up at my hospital bedside for the first time ever. He hasn't spoken to her in 4 years. Now this lady is standing here and she has my baby? How do you figure? He goes, and you could see him tomorrow. That part...
How did Xavier know this before she did? You think Xavier might have been in on it?
Was a lie. He didn't deliver on that, but I did start my visitation a week later. So I left with him, and thank God I did, because the directors of Shield of Hope, shout out to Troy. Thank you so much, Troy. We really appreciate you. They got us into this shelter. I have the intake paperwork for this shelter, the shelter we're in now, and this is where we have remained since March, I believe 14th, my son's birthday, all the way to today, which is July 3rd. We have been here in this shelter. We were told in community meetings with the staff here, we were told by
Yeah, I mean, like Mama X gives them food. Papa X pays their cell phone bills. I think they were even staying. I mean, this is one of her stories, so take it with a grain of salt. But they were staying with his parents, and they had their own bedroom and shit for a bit. So, like, I've never even met her. Like, yeah, you did. You know who fucking Xavier's mom is. But I don't know. It makes her story sound more dramatic, right? And then, like, anyone, I think. Now, this is on Instagram actually because I screen recorded this. So, like, I don't even know why she's trying this. I guess because her account's private now, she thinks she's got rid of all the bad people. Um, this is just to reel in new fish, new pay pigs for her.
Numerous different caseworkers and staff members that all we needed to do was stay here, go about our court-ordered, services, visiting the baby, taking random drug tests, continuing to do all of the things they asked of us, which we have done. We have been 100% compliant with. Individual therapy, group therapy, passed every drug test, every single thing they've asked for.
Yeah, so I mean, like, people will DM me little bits of information here and there. And like, I don't say all of it because some of it is inappropriate. Some, like, they do. Heather is afforded a right to privacy, but like when she's the one yipping and yapping about it, right? Like, I've heard from people for a while that like the kid has been with Xavier's mom, but like that's none of our business. But now Heather's made it our business because she's yapping about it publicly. So like how are we supposed to? I don't know, man. Like, it's hard. It's really hard to cover Heather and be like ethical because she's the one who puts all this shit out here. So anyways, it's just, this is an interesting, again, I don't even know if I believe like the way she's describing this went down, but it's interesting. Like, I never thought we'd get this. I thought she'd keep this a secret. I thought she was smart enough to, she made it this far. I thought she'd be smart enough to keep it going, but I guess not. She vaguely mentioned it, I think, last week, but now she's all in.
Plus, I have testimony from my doctor, who I've been a patient of for 9 years. And a week ago, they said, or 2 weeks ago, they said that this place might have lost its funding and might be closing down. Last week, a member from the city of Chicago, Lucy Morales, shows up here, never met her before, and she says, the building is going to be used for a summer housing program. And I said, okay, well, I waited 4 years of being homeless. I was being raped in a tent. I have a baby. We were told that we would get priority.
They stayed with the dad in the garage. Parents are divorced. The dad lives in the garage, and he was like, you can live with me in the garage, son, you and your girlfriend. The way Heather made it sound was like they had, like, the dad had his own place, and like they had a separate room and everything, and they were fighting with the dad more. They were just all in the garage together. I'm imagining like this room now is just like a sheet across the garage, and she's like stomping around in there. That puts it into a whole different perspective for me.
She said, well, I don't know who told you that. A different member from the city of Chicago, Jeremy, came and he said that he was working on a better option, whether it was for us to stay here like we originally were promised until we get our apartment, or to move to another family shelter where Xavier and I could be housed together, where we could have this refrigerator that is ours, that Stacks, shout out to Stacks, gave us to store my breast milk so that I can continue to breastfeed my son. It is my every hope and prayer that my son will be returned to our care and custody ASAP.
Yeah, so July 8th, I guess, is the new date that she's supposed to be outie. So if there is fireworks, like Ryan's like, I think I might take Monday off to see the real fireworks. We'll do some kind of a update to keep you guys in the loop. Because this is gonna be a big thing. It's too bad the dates didn't line up better. It's too bad she didn't get kicked out just like yesterday or today. And then it would have all lined up perfectly, but it'll be okay.
Until that time, I breastfeed him on the days that I can. And I do everything in my power to look for employment, opportunity, share my story, look for funding, look for sponsors, and look for assistance. The things that have gone on have been unlawful. They have been inhumane, period. The things that have gone on are not normal. They're not typical for the United States of America or most countries for that matter. I spent a lot of my time wanting answers and looking for answers.
Well, that's sad if they don't live in a garage. I mean, like, that would have been, she's like, when they make a sitcom about me, I would have watched the sitcom with them living in the garage for a couple episodes. That would have been a fun story arc.
And at this point, all I
We'll just put that in the sitcom. We'll do a sitcom about days or not. Oh my God, I'm getting them mixed up about Heather. And then we would put that in it.
really want is resolution, solutions, management. I don't want drama. I am no one's adversary. I am a mother who is desperate to be home with her children. We signed up for CHA, Chicago Housing Authority. They said 6 months to 25 years. Waiting.
Is that the breast pump, or is that the we're missing Narcotics Anonymous to tell us about all the trauma we've been through alarm?
6 months.
What happened to your audio? Why are you quieter now? She like put the phone. She must have put something on the microphone and she put it back down.
To 25 years. So if they don't come through here with the housing that they promised, it's up to now our caseworker from DCFS, our caseworker from Task, and that's it. Because they keep on giving us phone numbers of shelters to call that we call over and over and over again. But guess what happens? They say you can't get in unless it's through.
Was that my boy, Xavier? Xavier, was that you?
Task, and that's it. Because they keep on giving us phone numbers of shelters to call that we call over and over and over again.
Whoa, Xavier! I've not seen him with his hair down in a very long time. Whoa, wee wah. Look at that. Luscious. No eyebrows. Looks like a potato kind of. But very luscious hair.
Over again.
I'm impressed. Maybe Xavier's impressed with my hair. I think me and Xavier have probably been growing our hair out about the same amount of time based on the length of it. Look what covering these weirdos has done to me.
But guess what happens? They say you can't get in unless it's through a representative from the shelter you're currently in. So it's a waste of our time. And on top of that, I'm in school for marketing still. I'm taking AI courses, cybersecurity courses that I just finished, marketing, cybersecurity, marketing, AI, and what was the fourth one? Oh, beginner Python computer programming language. So on top of that, I'm doing the individual.
I would love for Heather to teach us Python. Teach me Python, Heather. It can't hurt me learning Python, but I don't think Heather learned it.
Individualized therapy. On top of that, I'm doing the group therapy. On top of that, we're commuting to the west suburbs 3 times a week to visit our child. We go to church every single Sunday. We've begun to rebuild and establish ourselves in normalcy. Why on earth would you take a person or a demographic? Let's just not even just speak of me. Let's talk about every homeless person that's being sheltered here. Why on earth would anyone be
You're going to start a riot, Heather? Start a little homeless mutiny?
Accepted and leave to go anywhere other than their housing? It makes no sense. I am praying, and I hope that you guys can pray too. If you guys can donate, please send me an email. Please send me an email to Coco, a GoPro solo production @gmail.com. That is my work email. I use it for a nonprofit. But I want to keep it separate from my personal email that I use for housing assistance and, all of those things. My Cash App was hijacked. So please do not. Most of my sponsors have been funding me through Cash App for the last 4 years. For some reason, it was hijacked. I verified my.
Because you started saying silly things. I can't remember exactly what she was saying, but I remember listening to it and I'm like, this is like not true. So if you're asking for money for things that aren't true, it's technically, I guess, considered fraud or scamish. So like just say I want money because I feel like I need it, and then they wouldn't be able to take your Cash App down, right? But you're like, I need to get this X, Y, and Z for my kid, or I need a new breast pump when you didn't, or I'm trying to think of the other things he said. I need more like just say I want, not I need. I want this, that, and the other. Give it to me because I'm entitled, and then you'd be set, good to go.
My identity, everything was fine. My mom attempted to send me $40 that I needed for a storage locker, and the payment declined. and it said, your account has been flagged for spam, and your account is no longer accessible. So I have Zelle, but in order to use Zelle, you have to give your personal information, which I'm not going to do. If you'd like to donate, please contact me through Coco, COCOA, GoPro Solo Production @gmail.com, please. And I'll figure it out from there. And Xavier and I, you know, like I said, we're not lazy. If you guys have landscaping jobs, moving jobs, organization in the home jobs, caregiving jobs.
Oh, is this Heather the Helper? She's doing Heather the Helper again, guys, which is something that was totally a thing before.
I have excellent references from the last caregiver job I just had was in December of 2020.
That's like a long time ago, Heather. It was just in 4 years ago. That's like my last. Do we even know? Oh my goodness.
And I have an excellent recommendation from that family I could share with you. I'd be more than happy to. I worked at Northwestern Hospital for 6 years, Loyola for a year, at an independent doctor's office, Midwest Center for Health. I worked at doing underwriting for Humana in Naperville for a year. I've worked in factories. I've worked in retail. I'm not lazy. I'm not unwilling, to earn my own money.
Well, then go earn it.
My kids have their birthdays. My daughters have their birthdays coming up in the next 2-3 months. I need money for their gifts and to go spend time with them and, buy them lunch that day. I have needs, you guys, and I'm not unwilling to earn them myself. I need some advocacy here, because if they're going to keep moving us around, we're not going to accomplish anything. And it's wrong. Why would you take a population of unhoused individuals?
We need like an accountant. No, maybe not an accountant. Somebody like who's good with numbers to add up all the money Heather's gotten donations over just the past year, just to see like how much money people have wasted on this. A little bit of advocacy here. Like, how much advocacy are we going to need before you're like stable and able to make your own income? Because I don't think it is ever going to end. She's making it sound like I just need a little help, just a little help. You get continuous help on a daily basis, and you're in the same spot. Yeah, thank God. Like the government's, you actually accepted their help, and you're in this place, because you would have still been in the tent being like, sponsors, what are you going to get me for dinner tonight, man?
Who live in this country, who pay taxes in this country. I've been paying taxes since I was 15 or 14 years old. I had my first job with a work permit at 14 or 15 years old, literally in a pizza place, and then at a movie theater. How are you going to take me, who's been paying taxes my entire life? And even when I wasn't working, like on someone's books in a W-2 employment, I was working downtown, and I was getting 5-star or 4-star or 3-star hotels at least 2 to 3 times a month. And do you know what the taxes look like on those? So Chicago, I'm asking you to have my back how I've had yours, how I've contributed to this city and our state and our country. I'm asking for the same. I'm asking for Chicago and Illinois and the feds to get together and say, enough is enough. This girl has been through enough. She has proven herself. She has been honest and reliable. Let's help her out.
Yeah, we're all going to sit down in a boardroom and be like, you know what? Heather's given this city a lot, Every day I walk out there, I pass the tent, and I think, why has this contributing member of society been dealt this rough hand? We need to give back to her. Let's start a campaign. Like, what the fuck what has she done? What does she think she's done for the city? I pay taxes like every other person. And I also start fights with every like public service person that I come in contact with. So like, help me out, Chicago.
Let's help her son out.
Her son?
Let's help her children get their mother back. Please. Please.
Oh, wait. Weston or the other son? I'm assuming Weston.
Whatever needs to be done, communicate that to me. Please. I hope you guys all have a great day. I'm putting this in God's hands as per the usual. I just wanted to elaborate.
In Jehovah God's hands.
In a space that wasn't on my story. I'm going to save my story for the last. Actually, I did. If you guys didn't catch the backstory to this, it's in the FTR section on my profile. Click on FTR and there are more details there. I will link the email that you can send inquiries about sponsorship or donations as well. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me through this. I know it is incredibly, tumultuous and anxiety producing and unfair for me, as well as for the people who love me, and even you guys who love me here. Like, it's not right. And for anyone who's going through it. So I'm grateful to have you guys and your
Heather's a good cautionary tale, like it's not like this came out of nowhere, it's not like she was like just minding her own business. No one warned her that what she was doing was wrong, and then she just went to the hospital, had the baby, and was like, what? I can't just have a baby in a tent? She every day got on live stream or posted some stupid bullshit and read the comments coming in being like, this isn't how you do this. This is going to result in you getting your kid taken from you. And she argued with them. Like, I'm not, this is a bad situation. I feel bad that she lost another one of her kids. Like, we're 0 for 4 here, but you can't act like this is what happens when you act how Heather does and does the things that she thinks is right when they're clearly wrong.
Your support. Please do not give up on us. You guys are keeping me alive. So please do not give up on us. And if you guys can donate or want to be a part of the solution, please email Coco a GoPro Solo Production @gmail.com. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm now doing a live to describe the conditions of homelessness.
Okay. I'll be to see if this is any different.
I want to be clear. If we've got a double perspective children's series, okay? So the book, it comes like...
Shout out to Your Highness. Your Highness, I think I grabbed this from Your Highness. Sub to her. These TikTok lives are pesky. They're a pesky nuisance in my life. Why is my camera being evil? It'll focus eventually.
Hold on. Babe, you're supposed to be moderating.
Babe, you're supposed to be moderating.
Hurry up. We need 5 private jets today.
Hurry up. We need 5 private jets today. $79 a pop.
I'm serious.
She's not messing around. No, I never would.
I love you too.
Let me see if I can get this in then. Ooh. All right, I think. Oh, is this good? Is this good? I think we're good.
We've got a double perspective children's series, okay? So the book, it comes like... Hold on.
Okay, good. What is this circle thing in here? Is this... I don't know if this is from Your Highness or if Heather put this here. I thought this was a makeup mirror for a second from far back.
Babe, you're supposed to be...
She was running. That was her. You guys want to see her running? Oh, no. See, this is why I can't zoom in, because that happens.
So the book, it comes like... Hold on. Babe, you're supposed to be...
Look at that speed.
Moderating. Hurry up. We need 5 private jets today.
This is the view of Chicago from the back of Heather's camera. Yeah, interesting.
I love you too.
Aw, they love each other, guys.
So the book...
X was all high out of his mind on the ground these past couple of lives. Jesus Christ, what is he doing? He's just like zonked out on the ground. Like, oh, it's passing time before I get my kid back.
Can you do me a favor when you have a moment? Can you please grab me my Nutella, a bottle of water, and wet my beauty blender?
What's a beauty blender? Okay, so she wants just Nutella. She's gonna just eat Nutella out of the jar, water, because we gotta wash down that Nutella with something in beauty blender, which I'm assuming is a cosmetic product, not something else to eat, right? She's gonna blend it all together.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Megan's telling me it's a sponge.
Okay, so the book, this is my Bible. You guys, just for example,
That's a pretty fancy Bible. It's like a Pokemon ball Bible.
we'll say this is the children's book, right? It has one story here, and then it literally says, flip to the other side for a different perspective. And you flip the book like this,
Nutella, because she's a nut, you know?
and it has a perspective of another one of the characters from the original book on the other side. And then you go through the book like this. Isn't that dope? So the book is offering real life lessons to our children that I don't think have ever been communicated so well and so intelligently and so proactively. You know, I really think it's a fantastic idea. It's a book, a series of children's books that are created specifically for the purpose of
Is this the one where he's shouting out like Chris Farley and people? I haven't heard the bands, but I heard Chris Farley and I was just like, why?
get Weston's toys in my bag. For the purpose of offering
Shout out to Tupac and Biggie.
perspective and encouraging our children to consider perspective other
Kurt Cobain, Randy Rhoads, all the greats who will definitely hear my shout outs.
than their own. And not only to consider that there is perspective other than our own, but to, you know, just
Yeah, she's forgetting what she's even talking about. Maybe she is high. That's what happens to me when I get high.
to be aware of it. You know what I mean? When we're a kid, we see things just as we see them. And unless we really have a lot of social developments, it takes us a while to get to that space where we see them from other perspectives. We only see them through our own eyes, you know, at first. That's elementary, that's basic levels of understanding. We don't
Yeah, like there has to be some responsibility on Xavier, right? Because it takes two to make a baby. And like the first pregnancy, you'd think, oh, that was a scare. Let's not let that happen again. But no, they just like went right at it again and had an actual kid. So like, yeah, I think she needs to drop him too.
don't really, you know, we're not really born with the ability to be like, well, mom feels this way, dad feels this way, I'm the baby and I feel this way. Those are lessons that we learn. Why not take it a step further and
I'm muted. Xavier has like a little dog bed on the floor.
teach those lessons? You know, we're used to learning those lessons naturally. Think about it this way. Bam, bam, battery ram. That's right.
Bam, bam, battery ram. That's right. She said that's right? What?
Florida. Think about it this way.
Ram, bam, battery ram. That's right, Florida. You guys want to watch the battery ram? I'll get it queued up.
If I'm breastfeeding my son and he bites me in the nipple, this is a true story. Yesterday, Xavier saw it. I'm breastfeeding my child, which thank you, God. Thank you, God, for giving me the ability to be a healthy,
Thank you, Jehovah God.
young mother who can feed her child and sustain, you know, milk production and birth and live through those processes. Thank you. We are not in 1920, whatever, when women died giving birth. But my son, I'm nursing him and he's so happy. He's like warm and like wrapped up in the blanket and just his little face is out and he's like squeezing my boob and like digging his nails in and he grabs down on my nipple with his gum.
Why are we okay? Let's get a little palate cleanser. Why are we listening to that? Like, what the fuck?
Rattering bam.
I'm a wild black Betty.
Mattering bam.
Black Betty had a child.
Battering ma'am.
I'm the damn thing gone wild.
Battering ma'am.
I'm said a word, not a mind.
Battering ram.
I'm the damn thing gone blind. Bam, a lamb.
And turns his face. And I'm like, Gah! But I didn't like react because he's my baby, you know, whatever, but it hurt. Now, a baby is not innately programmed with the ability to consider that what he's doing is causing his mother physical pain. He doesn't know. The milk was probably coming out slow on that side, or, you know, he was impatient, or whatever was going on. He only sees things from his own little baby eyes, you know? So the point I'm making is, no, he doesn't have teeth yet. It's just gum still. Yeah. So I was okay. Thank God, you know, but he
Thank Jehovah God.
is starting now in his fourth month, pardon me, to be able to read facial expressions, you guys. It's phenomenal. It's so amazing to see. I have 4 children. It never gets old. Thank you for the hearts. Keep them coming.
We're trying for a 5th.
I have 4 children. It never gets old to see your child, and any child for that matter, learn and grow. I love seeing that in others. I love seeing that in myself. I hope to see it in you all. You know, but he's starting to read facial expressions.
I haven't. I put "we miss you" in the description for Smitten Kitten. She'll be back. Hopefully she'll be back one day.
Thank you for the love. So when I go like this, oh gosh, he stopped biting, you know, and that doesn't mean he's forever learned that facial expression, but he's taking it in with his senses, his eyes, he feels, he smells, he hears, just like all of us.
Yeah, it's a human. It's just like you. You're a human. That's why people intervened and didn't want you putting this human in a tent with you. It's like she's almost getting it. I think we're making progress, guys. Maybe.
And so that's how we learn. You know, we learn from interpreting the senses and the stimulus all around us. So these books that Gary Vee created, you know, it would be like my son's perspective. I was eating milk, I was drinking milk, and the milk was coming out so slow. And then the mom's perspective, I was feeding my son, and all of a sudden there was a really sharp pain. And offering, obviously that's not going to be in the children's book, but you can see what I'm saying. Those perspectives, they teach children at an earlier age now. If we read our children these books at age 4 years old, 5 years old, they're teaching lessons of empathy, compassion, awareness, perception that we never got. I've never seen a book like that. I can tell you this. I was not formally coached. Please block Beth 70 Boop.
Beth 70 Boop. Is that our Beth? Beth, was that you?
Block Beth 70 Boop and block. I got it. Hold on, you guys. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Xavier, what are you doing? Oh, I do see it's changing now. It is changing.
Are you in yet, Xavier?
What's your TikTok name?
I love that Xavier's supposed to have been moderating this whole time, and he doesn't even know her TikTok name. These goofballs.
It's Heather Gillespie. You guys, what's my TikTok name?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You guys.
What's my name? That's a quote from something.
You guys. Oh, thank you so much, Dee. I appreciate that. You guys, what's my TikTok name so Xavier can
Neither of us know, apparently. I don't know how to look it up on the fly. I'm assuming it's Heather Gillespie. If you search Heather Gillespie, I'm sure it'll come up. Xavier. How many names could it possibly be? We got GoPro Solo, Coco Chanel YSL, Heather Gillespie, 1HG VLaw. Virtual law. What are we doing? Come on, guys.
Pineapples.
That's the safe word. Pineapples. Uh-oh. Shit's going down.
So Xavier can log in. Do you guys know my TikTok name? It's in the top corner. It says Heather Gillespie. Heather Gillespie. Did you find it?
Who am I?
Looking for it.
Okay. It's a picture of me with sunglasses on. No. Senza is my ghostwriting name, JM. Oh, it's coco.chanel.ysl. No, I don't spell it with Chanel. I spell it Chanelle when I use Coco Chanel.
No, she doesn't. I've never seen it spelled like that. What?
They're saying lies, I believe.
What?
Coco Chanel YSL. Oh, yeah. Okay. So coco.chanel.ysl.
It says no results found.
It says no results found, you guys. It's not that. Why are you guys lying? That's so rude. Coco Chanel YSL is my GoPro solo name. Is it HGV law now?
Yeah, how the hell did she spell her own name wrong? Like, I've never seen it ELLE ever. I've never seen it like that. It's always just been the EL. It's like when she forgot her the other name. I think there's something wrong with Heather's memory. Well, obviously there's something wrong with Heather's memory, but like I think there's like something seriously wrong with it because these are things like she identifies as this. Like you think she wakes up and be like, I'm Heather Gillespie, I'm Coco Pro Chanel YSL. I don't even know. I'm getting it mixed up now. But like, if anyone should know, it should be her.
No.
Totally not clutch. That's definitely not what's up, YouTubes.
You did, Kayla? I'm trying to trust you. Because if I click on it, it's going to end my live. Jenny Lynn said it's coco.chanel.ysl. He can search you up by Heather Gillespie. Coffee.
I'm assuming that when he does search Heather Gillespie, it's all these like snark pages that are coming up or something, or pages exposing her. Probably get more traction than her actual page. But he should be like, why aren't they following each other? That's another question. Like, you're a moderator for her, but you don't follow her. Like, it's these a lot of questions, a lot of simple things we could have done here before going live.
Coffee Glitter said. D said it's coco.chanel.ysl, and so does the Littles. Can I see your phone?
And this is the person who wants to like help you with your branding and social media presence. She doesn't even know her own fucking name.
Or let me look for my backup phone. Where's my backup phone? Oh, here it is. So you guys, I'm trying to get a private jet. 5 private jets today. 5 private jets.
Need 5 of them, guys. 5 private jets.
Xavier's learning how to moderate, which is going to be fantastic for our cause. For anyone who doesn't know what GoPro Solo is a place where I
diddled herself on camera and got paid for it, but then switched it to kid-friendly content or something. I don't know. But yeah, someone in the comment section was like, GoPro is like a term in camming where like it's like you're doing solo stuff, like GoPro and then solo. Apparently it's like a cam reference.
Traditionally and historically have been posting my modeling, statement modeling, lingerie modeling, fashion modeling, ethical, perspective modeling, and also products and services from others. So like and pages and influencers. So like there's a producer called Surthy Cooks. She goes around to these places and she cooks huge meals, and she does so in like traditional I don't know where she's from. I don't know if it's like Pakistan or like if she's more in like traditional Arabic, like the religious kind of style of like wraps and stuff. She wears some sort of ethnic Middle Eastern fashion mixed with really heavy full glam makeup. And then she cooks these elaborate meals and she passes them out in third world or impoverished communities. So she's like a perfect example of an ethical influencer that I like to support through the GoPro Solo. GoPro Solo, the goal is to get...
I've never even seen this person that she's referencing on any GoPro Solo shit. I don't know what the fuck she's even talking about right now. Heather, come on.
it as a non-profit.
We're like pros of the Heatherverse, so like she can't fool us with this imaginary person.
Where we're actually hosting fundraising events and, you know, things of that nature so that we can continue to pour money into ethical creators. That is my goal. And that has been the evolution of GoPro Solo. And by ethical creators, I mean people who...
What do I mean by ethical creators?
And I'm not here to poop on anyone or hate on anyone's, you know, brand or image. I had a real problem with people bathing in food and spending thousands of dollars on Orby beads when I was watching firsthand at street level so many people struggle. You know, I had a real problem with it. I did it in the beginning. In the beginning of my influencer career, I thought it was hilarious. I was like, oh, that was so funny. We should do that, you know. We should bathe in Orbeez too, you know. But then, you know, I was humbled and I was thrown outside of my normal element, and I was separated from my family and forced to exist in a space of homelessness and very little to no budget at some times. And I realized that we should not be spending our money and time, you know, frivolously purchasing and destroying food, objects, items, money, etc. So GoPro Solo is this creator platform that I created to be a nonprofit, specifically to encourage ethical creators. And I think that is how I affect and disrupt to scale. What that means is like, listen, if I can fundraise, obviously I need to come first. Me and my children need to have stability first. And that's why I always keep myself as a part of the conversation. I don't want you guys to ever think I'm being fake or phony or better than anyone or anything like that. I like to keep it real and be transparent.
I think it's like I swear to God, she's worried. She's worried she's gonna get kicked out soon. And I swear this rambling nonsense like is self-soothing or something. She's just repeating herself, and then she's fucking like, she takes the longest time to say one thing. It drives me a little loopy. Yeah, we'll give it a couple more minutes. We're not going to get through this because like this is like the 2-hour one. But I just want her to get like finish up one thought process before we go. You know what I'm saying, Heather? Like get to stepping, lady.
But at the end of the day, if I can support a creator or find funding that goes to a creator who is going to use that money to feed 100 kids and make content from that, I feel like it's, you know, a better cause and a better spend of money and time and energy and effort than to invest in someone who's going to buy $1,000 worth of clothing and do a get ready with me. You feel what I'm saying with that? You guys get it? So I'm not saying creators should not have their own get ready with me platforms or makeup trying on or et cetera and so forth. I'm not against it. I'm not a hater on it. I'm not any of that. If you can afford it and it's your lifestyle, fantastic, go for it. But we also need to balance out the internet because it's been filled with a lot of, you know, real garbage, to be true.
Real garbage. Yeah, I think like she thinks she's actually like solving issues when she's going on these long-winded things, but she's in the same place, so obviously not. It's unfortunate that she's not using this energy to do like something more productive or constructive, you know. Like even if it was cam work, at least like you'd be fucking producing something and making money. But it's just this nonsense. Even I guess you could monetize this on YouTube, but she doesn't want to give anybody her ID. She doesn't want to give YouTube her ID. She doesn't want to give Zelle her ID. So like this is like a sovereign citizen bullshit where it's like, I don't want to be tracked. She thinks that the fucking housing people stole her identification, is going to do something nefarious with her because she's not showing up on like the HUD website that takes years to get placed. So like, I don't know, Heather. I don't know how this story will end. It'll probably just stay like this until I don't know, something breaks.
truthful. Have you guys seen that platform called World Star? Did you guys know that there are people who really want to be on that thing? God, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, some people even want to be on Love After Lockup.
Say like World Star, bitch, or something like that. It's crazy. These people, they want to be on there. I kid you not. They like that. I don't like that, very much. I think that, everyone has their niche and their brand and their this and their that, but I just want to be a part of supporting positive, feel good, heartwarming messages and situations and, things of that nature.
Things of that nature. We'll cap it there. I've been going 3 hours, 45 minutes. Good luck to anyone who's going to rewatch this. So tomorrow, like the earliest I'll do a stream is 1 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe. But it'll be a Daisy stream. It'll be somewhere between probably 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then Heather, we'll pick back up on Heather. I'll aim for 9. It'll be between 9 and 10 p.m. But I'll aim for 9. And did we learn a lot today? We had some laughs. I don't think we learned anything, to be honest. Not this. Well, I guess we learned about her experience when she found out that Xavier's mom had her kid. That was something, I guess. Yes, free Daisy. There's a lot of stuff to go over with Daisy tomorrow. I was gonna do a Daisy stream today, but I just I couldn't get everything ready in time. And there's some other things. There's some other things that I am putting together for us. So I think it'll be worth it. So yeah, I will see you guys all tomorrow. If you're around, happy weekend. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great one. Take care, guys.